Good Thursday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2020 high school football season. The Girard Trojans and the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers renewing one of the great traditions in Southeast Kansas CNC football, the Kickoff Classic. It's one of those games that everybody anticipated all summer long. Went away in 2012. That was the last time these two played to begin the season. Last time they played was 2016, and so it is nice to be back here and ready to go for some Girard versus St. Mary's Colgan Panther football, and it's that's great. It's even better that the fact that we're playing high school football in the midst of a pandemic and all the other uncertainty that is brought with it. But the fact is, we're here. We're kicking off the 2020 high school football season, and we're going to have a chance to bring you those games all season long here on Girard Sports Live. BJ Harris along with you, filling in for Dale Shireman. He's on assignment. Along with me, Justin Tucker, Jess Murphy on camera as we're going to settle in for a night of high school football. They've got senior night festivities. That's something all the schools are doing, is their first home games, or most of them, where they do their senior recognition in the event that they can't finish the season. That's just one of the many things that have been weird about the last few months, last 6 months really. And but one of the things that will feel the same, high school football. And on the field, we're going to get to see guys out there hooking it up. Really excited about it, and looking forward to tonight's matchup. The Girard Trojans, of course, coming to this ball game off a 4-5 season a year ago, looking to start the year right. That's one thing this Kickoff Classic always did, was kind of set the tone for the season. I've got some analogies for that later. And then the Colgan Panthers coming off a quarterfinal finish a year ago where they lost to Jackson Heights on the road. Colgan 7-4 on the year, always a powerhouse in 2A and always a contender at that level as well. A couple of young coaches in their high schools. Neil Philpott, almost 40 now, so I'm not sure if I call him young, but in his 4th year as a head football coach here at the high school level. And then Sean Seamatter, certainly very young. He went all the way to state title, did not win, but got a runner-up finish in his first season here for the Panthers, of course, taking over for longtime head football coach Chuck Smith. As we get through the pregame show here, the community brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust. Of course, got to tell you that Craw-Kan is our title sponsor once again. Craw-Kan jumped on board when I started this thing about 4 years ago, and we are thrilled to have them on once again. Craw-Kan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Craw-Kan. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.org or see everything Craw-Kan has to offer at ckt.net. Before we go to break, Tuck, bring you in here, and I talked about the fact that this first game of the season, it sets the tone. For some reason, this one always was elevated whenever you played Colgan to begin things. If you won that game, you felt like you had a big old light at the end of the tunnel. If you lost that game, that's always first games, but for some reason, this one always elevated that. And I always tell the story, my senior year, I truly believe this. We went 11-1. If we had lost that first game to Colgan, which we almost did, I think it would have been 4-5. That's the difference this game could make.
I agree with you, BJ. I couldn't agree more with you. I didn't grow up in Girard, but I've been in Girard now for 15 years or so, and I kind of have come to realize the importance of the Colgan rivalry.
Yeah.
And tough to open up with a team like Colgan because they're always sound. But man, if you can beat them, man, it's just like jumping off a springboard for the rest of your season.
Yeah, it makes all your opponents go, okay, well, they can play with Colgan, then they can play a little bit because, yeah, you're talking right. The St. Mary's Panthers, Colgan Panthers have always been very good. That's a huge senior class out there, Murph. If you can pan that and see how many kids are out, these are just football players that are out there. I believe there may be some cheerleaders involved as well, but that is a lot of kids. This is a 2A school, and that's always one of the things they've had. They've been overwhelmed teams with numbers at times, certainly teams of their classification. But I'm looking at this roster for the Trojans, Tucker, and I'm thrilled that there's this many kids out. There was a time when there were maybe only 30. You couldn't hardly do two columns on a roster, and now all these kids out. I know there's some youth on this team, but the numbers are better.
Definitely, and we've definitely got better. I think we were a little bit better last year on depth, way better this year. A lot of the kids on that roster are younger, and a lot of them bring a lot of speed to the table, which we've kind of lacked the last couple of years. So, hopefully we're able to see that this year. Really like for them younger players to play a role here.
We'll break down this game a little bit further as we get on. Also talk about some action perhaps tomorrow night in the area and get you ready for kickoff. We're about 20 minutes, a little more than 20 minutes away from kickoff in this Kickoff Classic. The Girard Trojans, St. Mary's Panther, Colgan Panthers going to kick it off here in just a little bit. This is the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon and pick up your very own Girard Trojan instant issue mascot debit card. Community National Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. We're back with more on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show on Girard Sports Live.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon and pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue mascot debit card. While you're there, be sure to ask about Secure Lock, mobile banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools.
Member FDIC.
Go Trojans!
Hey, Mama.
Now more than ever, Craw-Kan is dedicated to helping keep families connected, workers to collaborate, students to learn, and businesses to continue to serve their customers, and even for doctors to treat their patients. Craw-Kan's reliable high-speed fiber-to-the-home network means no buffering movies or grainy video conferences, no matter how many people are using it. Call or go online to sign up for the fastest and best internet in Southeast Kansas. Craw-Kan. If you need to stay connected, you need Craw-Kan.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
Roto-Rooter is proud to serve Girard and the surrounding area, offering sewer and drain cleaning, as well as septic and grease trap pumping 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From toilet clogs to video inspections, sewer line repairs to complete replacements. To make an appointment, call 620-231-5630. Roto-Rooter is now owned by GHS alum Braden Peak and GMS teacher Heather Peak, and they are proud to support the Trojans. Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630. See their ad in names and numbers.
Back at here live, Hutchinson Field in downtown Pittsburgh. BJ Harris, Justin Tucker, Jess Murphy as we get ready to kick off this 2020 Kickoff Classic, the Girard Trojans and the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers. Just a few minutes away from kickoff. And before we kind of get into some of the other area matchups and stuff, Tuck, you've got a young man that's playing for the Trojans. Kind of talk a little bit about what he's had to experience, the team's kind of gone through as far as summer conditioning being disrupted at times perhaps, and then all the other stuff that's come along with the shenanigans we're dealing with right now.
You know, it's pretty interesting because that's a pretty good story. You know, this deal hit back in mid-March, really. And about a week after it hit, I told my wife, I said, you know, I hope this thing is out of here by fall so we can play football. And I was kind of just, you know, thinking, oh, yeah, it'll be gone. Yeah. But, you know, as time marched on, everybody just started wondering, you know, then got time for conditioning to start, and we thought, man, are we going to be able to do conditioning? Right. I think all the schools and all the health departments did a good job and figured out ways to do it. And then the same thing over and over again when practice got ready to start. And, you know, even all the way up to this first game, I mean, I was kind of sitting on pins and needles right. until noon today. And I know Eli was the same way. There was times he said, I just don't know. I don't, you know. And but I think all the kids worked as hard as they could. A little bit of an odd off season for them, worked as hard as they could and stayed as dedicated as they could, and I bet they're all really excited now.
Yeah, and so are we. And I was talking to a coach earlier today, Coach Mike Dumpert up there at Paola High School, and I told him, if nothing else, I think everybody coaches. He's in his 30th year, I think, of coaching. You know, those guys have been doing it for a long time, and maybe at times you take things for granted. I know I have. I've showed up at broadcast games and been so grumpy about the fact that I had to go do a game in Caney, Kansas or whatever. But I tell you what, no complaints today. I got in the car, drove down here from Spring Hill, happy to be here, thrilled to be here. You know, sometimes you get people that mess with you out in front of you. If their name Brandon Brill, a decent running back for the Trojans back in the day. Not great, but okay. And he'll hate that I said that. But actually, he was really, really good. But I'm not going to tell him that. But you'll appreciate it. And I hope these kids do. Your boy certainly is a senior, and he'll appreciate the fact that they're getting a chance. And we always talked about it. It was kind of cliche talk. Play every snap like it's your last, and play every game like it could be your last. That's no kidding. That's no kidding today. You could play, and not because of injury. They could just shut it all down, and so you need to come out with that same enthusiasm and bring it to the game. And I expect to see that. I think there's going to be a certain bit of energy in this venue tonight. Even though the crowd's going to be much smaller, people are spread out. They're not letting as many people. They've got the 4 tickets per family deal. Colgan does here on the road as well. I think there'll be a certain static about the fact that these kids are getting an opportunity to do something that perhaps they didn't think they were going to just even a few weeks ago. Still to come here on the pregame show, we'll take a look at our area matchups. Brought to you by a new sponsor of our Diskins Auto and Towing. We'll talk about other teams in the area, what we think the CNC. Also, still to come, we'll hear from the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, his chat with Dale Neal Philpott in just a little bit. That's still to come here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show on Girard Sports Line.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
This is Greg from the original home location of Derailed Commodity in nearby Brazelton, Kansas. Our home location includes the warehouse for our company's 16 other stores, allowing us to feature a huge selection of furniture at outlet prices. We also feature by far the area's largest in-stock selection of carpet and floor coverings, and the absolute lowest prices on mattresses. We're your source for lodge-style rustic furniture for homes and cabins. So come see us at our large facility in Brazelton, your destination for outlet pricing.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings. Leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Back out here, Hutchinson Field, here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. BJ Harris, Justin Tucker, Jess Murphy as we settle in for this Kickoff Classic. I don't know if they're calling it the Kickoff Classic, but it'll always be the Kickoff Classic if it's a Thursday night to get the season started for the Trojans and the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers. As we're getting ready for this one, we do look at some of the other matchups around the area, brought to you by Diskins Auto and Towing. Stop by and see Jason Diskin and his crew right there on the square, north side of the square in Girard. They'll take care of you, 24-hour record service, and can work on any make or model of vehicle. And that is our pregame area matchup brought to you by Diskins Auto and Towing. In the CNC, Baxter is against Riverton, and Galena, a non-conference out-of-state game at Commerce. I don't know, that's not very far for them. So a nice little travel for Coach Sarwinski and his staff to get down there and play Commerce. Probably the premier matchup tomorrow night in Southeast Kansas, and certainly in the CNC, would be Columbus against Frontenac. That should be a really good game.
Yeah, no doubt. Columbus has been highly competitive the last 3 or 4 years. We all know Frontenac's story. New season, anything can happen. That's going to be a wild card right there.
Yeah, good coached, well-coached games for sure. In the SEK, or what used to be the SEK, I don't know, Pittsburgh High, I don't believe has an opportunity to play in that anymore, but they'll be playing an SEK opponent in Labette County here at Hutch Field tomorrow night. And then Fort Scott's going to be hosting Summit Christian, I believe, out of the metro area up there. Games to note for Girard in their district play. Remember, they play in that North District with Burlington, Anderson County, and Prairie View. Burlington is going to be at Wellsville. Anderson County will be against Parsons. And then Prairie View is going to be hosting Santa Fe Trail. That's a pretty good matchup in those two games. But that has been a difference for the Trojans over the last few years, playing in that district competition. But it does allow you to kind of feel your way through and then get into it. And once you get to that district, and I felt like the Trojans last year probably let one or two of those slip through their hands, it could have been a much different season.
I agree, and that district last year especially, but the year before that, I don't remember if it was exactly that way, but it was similar. It was really a balanced district.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of them games we played last year really could have went either way. And, I hope we take a step forward this year. I know some of those teams return a couple of pretty good kids, so should be some good ball games coming up when we get into district play.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And Prairie View is a team that's improved. They won that district last year. They were not very good back in the day. That was a team that was just not very consistent, not very good. But, boy, they were real good last year. And so it's a little tougher district than perhaps people give it credit for. We're going to step away, take another break. We come back. We're going to hear from the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, when we return on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show on Girard Sports Live.
Do you have a construction project that just needs that custom touch? Are you looking for a contractor who can get it all done? Roof to floors and everywhere in between? Then call Dustin Sneed at DS Construction. With more than 20 years of industry experience, DS Construction specializes in new construction, roofing, renovations, and more. There's no job too big or small. For a free estimate, call DS Construction at 620-724-0209. That's 620-724-0209.
Hello, let me sell you a car. You need a car? I work for Evans Motors, so please let me sell you a car.
Come on, let the boy sell you a car.
Let me come over for Thanksgiving dinner. You've already bought a car from me at Evans Motors. Please?
He's a hard-working boy. For the love of God, let him come over. He likes stuffing.
Can I go on vacation with you?
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judge Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you, so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, and Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans!
Girard Medical Center now offers both outpatient pulmonary and cardiac rehabilitation services. Our approach combines physical therapy, respiratory therapy, behavioral health, and nutrition to help you become more fit and active.
With cardiac and pulmonary rehab, we want to focus on lifestyle changes. We provide people with education to help prevent further events.
Each treatment is unique to the individual patient because at Girard Medical Center, we care for our communities one patient at a time. Call us at 620-724-5126.
Welcome back to Community National Bank and Trust pregame show here on Girard Sports Live, presented by Craw-Kan, your community technology partner. The Girard Trojans get ready to take on the St. Mary's Craw-Kan Panthers. And earlier this week, Dale Shireman was able to catch up with the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. His interviews are always brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services. Coach Philpott's working to put the Trojans in a position to succeed, and that's what the agents at Farm Bureau can do for you. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, they're here to help you plan for what's to come, protect what matters most, and invest in your future. Get your game plan together at Farm Bureau. Call them today at 620-724-4213. Coach talked with Neil talked with Dale, rather, kind of about the summertime and all the challenges that brought.
Summer went well. We had good numbers, very good numbers, probably the most we've had since I've been here. We had to do some things differently, but honestly, we were able to make it work with our assistant coaches helping out. We broke up into some small groups. We had to wear masks at times, and we tried to do the best we could for the kids to get them here. We wanted them here. Wanted to keep everybody healthy and abide by some of the guidelines we've had, but the buy-in was really good for the guys. They kind of leaned into it and went with it, and we had a good summer, had a good team camp, and another good camp at the end there, and we're eager to get going.
Coach, let's talk just a little bit. You lost a small senior group last year. You're gaining 12 seniors this year. Let's talk just a little bit about your senior class.
Yeah, it's a group that's been here. We picked up a few. I think there's 7 of them out of the 12 that are been 4-year guys, and we picked up a few along the way that helped our depth and some skill position wise, but it's a good group. they like I said, they bought in this summer. We had a really good turnout. The guys have been here. They kind of know what's at stake. We're trying to do things right and get them. We want to play. I mean, I think our kids deserve to play. What they've done this summer, and the seniors have done a good job of being leaders and being examples. And we've kind of changed the way we've done something on practice, and they bought in and done those things well. And we're trying to embrace it, but it's a good group overall, and hopefully they get a play.
Coach, let's wrap this up with, we know Thursday night we're at Colgan. We're in Pittsburgh. What do you know about them real quick?
From what, just the first game of the year, so it's hard to say anything for sure, but watching film, we got a couple games from last year that they run some Power G stuff, and they run a lot of it. But I think they'll throw the ball a little bit more. I think they've got a new kid playing quarterback that transferred in. He's got a pretty decent arm, it looks like, and he can throw it around a little bit, so I imagine they'll do some of that. But going in the first game is always kind of an unknown test. You just kind of got to plan for potentially anything and be fundamentally sound, and the team who makes the fewest mistakes usually comes out on top of that. That's what we're really trying to harp on our guys, is do the little things right and be good at those, be great at those little things that we do every day. And if we can manage to do that, I think we'll be in the hunt for some success.
Dale Shireman talking with the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, here on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show. We'll step away, take another quick break. We come back. We've got your starting lineups, keys to the game. We're about 7 minutes away from kickoff. Can you believe it? Here in the high school football season in 2020 in Southeast Kansas. More to come on the Community National Bank and Trust pregame show on your home for the Trojans, Girard Sports Live.
Here at Farmers Insurance, we want all of our students, faculty, and staff to know that we're cheering you on. This year, we would like to spotlight a student or staff member of Girard Schools as part of our weekly Girard Sports Live broadcast. If you would like to nominate any student or staff member as part of our weekly spotlight, contact our office.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Call Service has a huge selection of tires from great brands, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Hankook, and Cooper. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service with fast, reliable, on-the-farm service daily. Plus, Calls is the first stop for lube and oil changes in Girard. Get back in the game with a stop at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon and pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue mascot debit card. While you're there, be sure to ask about Secure Lock, mobile banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools.
Member FDIC.
Go Trojans!
Back out here, Hutchinson Field in Pittsburgh. BJ Harris alongside me, Justin Tucker and Jess Murphy running cameras. We're settling in for this one. Naturally coming out, I imagine they'll have the national anthem here shortly. But we do have some high school football coming your way. It's time to take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by DS Construction LLC. Keys to the game. get the key to your next construction project. Actually, that's basketball season. My bad. Keys to the game are brought to you by Evans Motors. That's right. Hey, Nate. Evans Motors and Eddie, those guys there. Stop by and see them just south of Pittsburgh at the intersection of Highway 69 and 400, and let them get you into the right car, truck, van, or SUV that's right for your family. Check them out again down there south of Pittsburgh, or see them online at evansmotors.net. Tucker, any good thoughts on keys to the game for this one?
It's the first game of the season. There's going to be jitters. Got to keep it simple. Defenses are usually way ahead of offenses at this point. But what you have to watch on defense especially is the play-action passes over the top, because there's some fundamental breakdowns that can happen there. So simplicity, ball control, and turnovers, field position is what's going to decide this game.
Yeah, that's one of the things we were talking off air is with Colgan and really anybody, but keep it in front of you. Don't let it go get those cheap ones. Let them score fast 2 times in a row or whatever. So be careful with that. Keys of the game brought to you by Evans Motors and evansmotors.net. Starting lineups are brought to you by the Jagged Edge. Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you will find at the Jagged Edge. Stylists Carlos Sands, Robin Hawkins, or Eva Vietti will have you looking your very best for your next big game. Make an appointment soon by calling 620-724-7500. It does look like the Trojans won that toss, deferred to the second half. Starting quarterback will be Caden Lallman, 5'8" senior. 5'8", 200-pound senior, has a ton of experience, super savvy, a little undersized, but will quarterback this team. Running back, Mason Huber. Also, Ethan Merrill, 6'3", 185-pound. Connor Olivero will be in there at running back, 5'10", 150. Tight end will be Caden Harrison. They have him in here at 7'1", 193. Number 9, Gage Davenport will be another wide receiver there at 6'1", 165. And then up front for the Trojans, Gabe Shireman, 6'1", 186, and a senior. 5'7", 57 is Riley Peak. Get the rest of that starting lineup, and we'll get your kickoff coming up next here after the national anthem right here on Girard Sports Live.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
Whisper a phrase into a person's ear, then pass it on to a group of people. Notice how the message changes by the time that the last person hears it? In business, consider word of mouth in the same light. What people say may turn into something different than you would like it to be. It can't be controlled. That's why Norris Advertising provides proven ad solutions through radio, billboards, and digital sign sales, allowing your message to be controlled by the person that knows your business best. You, Norris Advertising, a proud sponsor of Trojan Athletics.
We used to rely on the magnificent Larry for all our entertainment needs.
Pick a card, any card.
Mom! But now, we've got Craw-Kan high-speed internet to keep us entertained. Now with Craw-Kan gigabit speed, we never lag, buffer, or even have a data cap. Our kids can even play their favorite online games with their friends.
You don't need a magician, you need Craw-Kan.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. For years, our customers have worked with the Farmers Bank staff located in Walnut, St. Paul, and Hepler. Now, with our new location in Girard, the community can experience the same service that has kept families coming back to Farmers Bank for generations. Stop by and visit our friendly staff at Farmers Bank at any of our locations in Walnut, St. Paul, Hepler, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back out here, Hutchinson Field here in Pittsburgh. B.J. Harris, Justin Tucker, Jess Murphy getting ready for this one. We're going through a starting line. Let's finish off that offensive line for the Trojans. Gabe Shireman, 6'1", 186, a senior. Riley Peak, number 57, 6'1", 208, and a junior. Zach Shindo, 5'9", 236, and a senior. Eli Tucker, 6'3", 312, and a senior. And number 75, D. Weidman, 6'1", 264. A couple pretty good linemen right there. He's also a senior. Opening kickoff is brought to you by Larrett Ceramics, 503 West Maple in Girard. Stop by Larrett Ceramics for great gift ideas and supplies. Get creative when it comes to gift buying and get your friends and family a beautiful ceramic piece or maybe even sign up for classes. Larrett Ceramics, 620-724-8442. And we are about ready to get things started in this one. Hard to believe, frankly. Opening kickoff going to be kicked away by Luke Niggeman for the Trojans. Fielded at the 15-yard line, center return off left side, and going to be a little bit of room. Finally wrestled down on the return there for the Panthers was number 11, Gianni Piccini. Piccini, a quarterback a year ago. He's moved to wide receiver to make room for quarterback Jake Wright, a junior transferred in. His dad, the head football coach at Pittsburgh State, so they just moved to the area, and here he is at the helm of the Panthers. So that's where the Panthers will start this drive, as they will start at their own 34-yard line. To begin this first quarter. Two wide receivers to the far side, one to the near side. Wright will be in that pistol set. Just to his left side will be Piccini. Snap backhand, Piccini near side. Actually, that is Bevilacqua. And he is a load. That dude, he's been doing that for a while. Actually, that was that 15?
That was
35. That was Bevilacqua. Yeah, he's been a load for a while. He's a kid. He's played as a freshman. They gave him the ball a little bit, and he's just a big old body. You got to get low, and you got to drive. So a gain of 11 on first down, going to move the chains up to the 45-yard line. They'll be in that same set, but flip to the near side. Quarterback goes to the left side of Bevilacqua. About 4 yards deep. He'll turn, hand off, same play other way. This time you get low. This time you drive him down. That's a good play up front. Coming in there to make that play, 58 for the Trojans. In there was Michael Clugston, one of the guys making first contact in there for Girard. That's the way you got to tackle that guy.
Yeah, Brecken got in there on the tail end of that too. That was a really good tackle.
A 1-yard pickup for the Panthers will bring up a second down and 9 from the 46-yard line. Three wide receivers near side. Bevilacqua just to the right side there of Wright, and a early timeout. Looks like equipment, as Luke Niggeman will have to go over to coach and hand a bunch of tape unraveled. Niggeman at that safety spot, about 10 yards off the ball. Right at quarterback again, 4 yards deep. Turn, hand off. This time they catch him in the backfield. He's brought down, tackled. Bevilacqua goes to the ground, coming in there hard and fast. A nice play by Mason Hubner to snake his way through there and get the backfield for a 3-yard loss.
Mason did a really good job of reading that and attacked. Great play by Mason.
He was on him in a hurry and went low. You can tell that's something that's been discussed on the last two plays. A run of 1 yard and then one of a loss of 3. And it'll bring up a third down and 12 for the Panthers.
That's where we've got to put them, BJ, to be successful. We can't let them be in short yardage situations.
10:02 to play here in this opening quarter, opening drive of the ball game. Wide receiver to the far side, 3 to the near side. Bevilacqua in the backfield, probably to block. Straight drop for Wright, looks downfield, lets it fly in the air. It is going to be overthrown, nearly intercepted, right between the hands. You got to make that play, but hit Zach Davis. There was a host of Trojans intended for number 12, Aiden Fleming. And that will bring up a fourth down and a good drive. That first big play of 11 yards, and then nothing after that.
Good job to bounce back by the Trojans. Some good tackling there we saw on two of the plays right there.
So that'll bring up a punt for the Panthers as they'll have it at their own 43-yard line. This is a weird place in the field early in a game, beginning of the year. What do? Probably kick it away. We know they have a pretty good kicker who was out there booming some. But this is going to be the punter. This will be Piccini, who I believe will be out there kicking it away for the Panthers. Snaps back. And he'll get one into it. Wobbly kick. And running into a guy. Hit a Trojan as well. You got to get on top of that ball if you're the Girard Trojans. But a little bit of interference perhaps hitting him as he was letting that ball go. It ended up hitting somebody. Luckily, the Trojans do fall onto it. They're not going to have great field position, covered up there by Bo Harris, who comes in and makes that play to get the football. But nonetheless, the Trojans will have it offensively.
That's a really nice punt by Pacini. If that's who punted that, that ball hung up there forever. There was defenders around it when it landed.
Yep, had a little wobble to it as well. They're going to officially mark it at the 21-yard line inside Trojan territory. Let's see what the Trojan offense has to show right here. Wide receivers to each side. Wing to the right side is the tight end Harrison. Wing to the near side, he'll go in motion. Turn, handoff, first guy through. Going to be a little bit, not much, up near the 25-yard line on that carry. A lot going on in the backfield. On that dive to Hubner, he does get up maybe a gain of 3. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 for the Trojans.
Pretty decent hole there. We've got a couple yards. Take that every time if we can get it.
Near side wide receiver will be Thomas. One wide receiver to the far side as well. 2 men in the backfield this time. They'll send a man in motion. Turn, handoff, second guy through. He's got a good run up across the 30, up near the 31-yard line on the carry by Ethan Merrill, the 6'3", 185-pound junior. Good long body, getting up in there and making something happen. What'd you see up front?
We had another nice hole. Right, they ran right between the looked like the center and the guard. That'd be Gabe and Eli's side, and they did a good job opening it up for a quick hole.
Trojans get a first down on the 8-9-yard carry there by Merrill. Wide receiver far side, one to the near side. Send a guy in motion, loose ball on the ground. Longman, I believe, fell on top of it. That was a low snap. Never really had a chance to scoop that one up to make a play. One thing I noticed, and there's a lot more action in the backfield. They're sending guys around. Connor Oliveira is doing a lot of action. That time he showed like he was going to go across, came back against the grain, and
good deception back there. Another year under our belt practicing that.
For sure. Short snap again here for Lallemand. Turn, handoff. Nope, kicked it. Oh, he had his man. He had to fall on top of it. It was going to be there. Oliveira, if he holds onto that, had some room. It was a good sell on the dive up front, and then he popped it out at the last second. I'm not sure if Oliveira was quite ready for it. And so now we're going backwards, wrong direction. That's a loss of another 3 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 15.
You know what I saw there, BJ? It was not a good play, but they were running that option downhill. That's way better than I saw last year.
So here we go, 3rd and long. Trojans first offensive snap. Going to throw. Pressure comes. Lallman nearly breaks out of it, and he's brought down by Bevilacqua back to the 20-yard line, back inside where they started the 21. And after some positive yardage on their first couple plays, went backwards. This time, I believe a loss of another 9.
That was either an outside corner blitz. They just outnumbered us out there. Somebody missed a man, but that kid was untouched out there.
So back to the 20, they'll be snapping. Kicking it away here for the Trojans is Clugston. His heels are sitting on his own 5-yard line. You got to believe the Panthers are probably going to come try to get one. Back to return this one is Fleming and Pacini. Clugston will get a decent boot into it. Pacini comes over to catch. Blocker in front. Breaks one would-be tackler. Breaks another. He's on the sideline. He's got a guy in front of him. Here he goes to the 30. Down the field he goes all the way into the end zone. It's going to be about a 55-yard punt return for a touchdown. And just like that, the Panthers on the board. On Gianni Pacini, again, quarterback turned running back, and now return man who took it to the house for 55 yards. And the Panthers lead at 6-0 with a point after forthcoming. Kicker is Janko Kalan, and Kalan is going to be kicking this one. Right-footed kicker was booming some 30, 40-yarders in practice. Snaps back, high snap. They get it down, blocked, and that's what it will stay. It was a low, high snap. Getting his paws up there and knocking that one down was the big fella, D. Weidman. And so the score will stay 6-0. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
Girard Trojan defense did their job, got the ball back to the offense. Offense had a couple of positive plays, a run of 3 yards, run of 8 yards, then went backwards, had to punt from their own 20. Good punt, but then not good punt coverage, and Gianni Piccini takes it 55 yards to the house to put the Panthers up 6-0 to begin this ball game.
Special teams are a big deal.
Always, and they can always make a big difference, certainly early on in a year, and that's what's happened so far. Good kick by Craw-Kan. It's going to be a touchback. Oh, you got to take that touchback. Yep, don't bring that ball out. I don't think you can anyways, but Craw-Kan can kick.
Yep, that's a big deal in high school football when you can put one in the end zone. That's a lot of people don't realize it, but that's a game changer.
His dad is from Slovenia, 100% Slovenian, and his mother is a Lomšek, who is also Slovenian. So they have that. I don't know if that's a trait of that nationality or not. Good kickers, but Eddie Lomšek, it's one of his boys' cousins, and they were always pretty good kickers. Eddie was a kicker at Pittsburgh State, so maybe it is something in that.
Runs in the genes.
Maybe.
There.
Problem with my score clock.
Merrill again over the right side on the dive, gain of a couple yards there.
That's one of those you got to keep going to if you're the Trojans, because he had a good carry earlier, and I think you got to keep giving it to him. He's a good enough sized body that can really pound it in there for the Trojans and
sets up a lot of things.
Yep. Gain of 2 on the run. Allman, the snap back to him, fake the toss, rolling near side, looking downfield. He's got some time, lets it rip. He's got a guy coming over. He can't make the catch. Intended for Huebner. Boy, you got to make those count for sure. We've seen a couple of miscues. One in the running game where they kicked it out. He should have had a good hand on it. Was that time was Oliveira, and this time a good pass into the hands, right in the breadbasket of Huebner. That would have been a first down. Instead, it brings up 3rd down and 8.
Nice play. They rolled the Caden Strong side there. He's left-handed. Hit him right in the numbers. Just early season jitters.
3rd down and 8. Long 7, perhaps. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far side. 1 man in the backfield. Wallman, short snap. He'll pass. Got time again. Looking downfield. Lets it go. He's got his man on the sidelines. Makes the catch. That's Caden Harrison, the big tight end, coming over to the near side. That's a good-looking play. Rolling to the near side. It's a gain of 10 on the pass and a first down for the Trojans.
Nice job by the line. We had a little penetration over the left side there, but for the most part, they gave Caden some time to throw. When you give him time to throw, that's going to happen.
That's a big body, good-looking athlete is Caden Harrison. You see him walking without even pads on, you go, that guy's probably pretty good.
Yep.
And he is right there making a good catch on a tough play on 3rd down and long. Going to bring up a fresh set of downs for the Trojans across the 30 up to about the 31. Ballman going to keep it this time, nowhere to go with it. And ball gets kicked out. His motion was lost. They did not blow the whistle, or did they blow the whistle?
I think they must have ruled
Near
it dead.
side official still has the ball dead, yeah. So they must have ruled that dead. White Hat wasn't in a real hurry to make any definitive comment about it, but a loss of a couple. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 12, and those are the plays you got to eliminate if you're the Trojans. We've seen a few of those just negative plays. If you can just eliminate the negative plays, not everything has to be positive. You just can't have a ton of negative. We've already seen about 15 yards lost going the wrong direction. In motion. Oh. Goodness. How much you can do about that. Lucas McCain coming unblocked, the senior linebacker off this near side. And poor Caden was looking the opposite direction. And they're just lucky that wasn't worse.
Yeah, we're just outnumbered out there. Kids aren't communicating, talking about the blitzers walking up. Tough thing to do.
4:47 to go here in this first quarter. Trojans trail 6-0. Panthers score on a punt return for a touchdown at 55 yards just a moment ago. They've had one possession offensively and punted. Trojans had a possession and punted. That's what resulted in that touchdown. And now here's their second offensive drive. One man in the backfield, two to the near side, two to the far side. Straight drop. Lawman going to let it fly. Throwing it down. He wants Thomas, and it's going to be a little over the head of the intended receiver, Logan Thomas. Thomas is one I think they can take advantage of his size a little bit, perhaps over the middle, just throwing it up there and letting him get it. But another punting opportunity here for the Trojans. Perhaps the coverage can be a little bit better on this one as they will punt it here with 4:21 to play in this opening quarter. Clugston is the punter. Pacini and Fleming at about their own 40-yard line. Running a guy in late. Play clock down to 7. 5. They'll get it off. Now a penalty flag comes in. What's that going to be about?
Must have had some movement on the Trojan side, I think, BJ.
So that'll back them up 5 more yards. So now you're going to be real close to your goal line. And it is a typical first game, and probably a little less reps than they've had. Some of the other stuff they've got to do in practice that doesn't allow them to get as many plays in and all that other stuff. So back to the 19-yard line, 4th and a mile. And Clugston at his own 5 once again. Return man at their 45. He'll get a boot into it. He's got plenty of coverage. Fleming's going to fumble it. Boost ball, still loose, and he'll fall on top of it at the 50. No return on it. But will the Trojans get down there a little quicker? They may have a shot at that one. That's where the Panthers will start this drive, as they will start right at midfield.
Pretty nice punt there by Michael.
He's gotten some pretty good airtime on those for sure. That has allowed for a little bit of coverage. In fact, that the punt that went for the house was not because of coverage getting there. It's just they didn't make the tackle at the time they had opportunity. And so we will start this drive here with 4:12 to play in this opening quarter. Panthers with it at the 50-yard line. Last time the Panthers had the football, they had a couple of big plays. They had a big run on first down, and then the Trojans tightened up pretty significantly after that and forced a punt. And now quarterback right, 5 yards deep. He'll roll, far side, right-handed quarterback. Pressure coming. He is all over. Eaten alive. Brecken Troike closed in a hurry. I don't believe Wright expected 33 to have those kind of scoots to get there. It's a loss of 5, and he came like a train.
And Brecken didn't have those scoots last year.
Well, he found them.
He did. He did a good job of developing them.
Well, he's selling them up there in Brazelton, Kansas somewhere?
I believe so. He found some on the farm.
Walnut Inglevel Road. I drove that road a lot. I still never had any scoots. Loss of 5 on the sack by Troike. Bring up a second down and 15 here for the Panthers. Running backs on either side of right. He'll turn handoff. First guy comes across his face. Tackle made by Eli Tucker. A gain of 5 on the play by Blaze Dawson. And it'll be a gain of 3 on the play to bring up a 3rd down and 12.
Pretty good battle up there on the offensive and defensive lines on both sides there. I've been watching them every play. Pretty evenly sized, evenly matched.
Well, both these teams could go decades without having the size that Girard has up front or Colgan has up front right now. There's some beef up there. Right again in shotgun. Bevilacqua to his right. 3 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Right, straight drops, looks, fires, lets it fly. He's got his man. It's caught across the 40 up to the 35, down to the 31-yard line. A big pickup that time of about 17, no more than that, 22 yards all the way up to the 30-yard line. That ball was at the 48 and all the way up to the 30. So, yeah, 20 yards is what we'll call it because it's back up at the 32-yard line. So a 20-yard pickup on the pass.
Wright's got quite an arm, BJ.
Yeah, he was coming. That was from the center of the field all the way to the near sideline. See it again here. Turn, handoff. Nope. Dawson picking his way through. Boy, good run there by Dawson right up the middle, and he's into the house. That was not an easy run by Dawson. He went right side and then cut back against the grain. And that's some good blocks on the backside. That's always what makes the difference from a good play to a great play and a 32-yard touchdown run.
When he cut back, the hole was there. You could have drove a truck through that hole.
Got to keep working on that backside, and just like that, the Trojans find themselves in a 2-score hole. Blaze Dawson with the 32-yard touchdown run. 2-12.
That kick was no good. Somebody might have got a piece of that.
So once again, the PAT no good. We will go to a break. 2:14 to play in the first quarter. Trojans down by 12. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Line.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
Girard Trojans trail 12-0 here on the road at St. Mary's Colgan to kick off this 2020 high school football season here in southeast Kansas. Jenko Kalan going to kick it away here. He had a touchback in his last one. He'll boot this one. And that's going to go back to the 1-yard line. That's worse than a touchback. Breaking one tackle is Harrison. He'll break across the 20 up near the 23-yard line. It's worked out better for the Trojans than that touchback on a good return. How often is your tight end your return man? And that's exactly what happened there is he brought it across the 20 up to the 23-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will start this drive. What do you need to see offensively? We've had kind of one step forward, 3 steps back here over the last few drives.
Like you said, BJ, we got to stop seeing the negative plays. We've got to see, if anything, 1 yard, half yard, every now and then we need a 7 or 8 yarder, break one bigger, but got to stop the negative plays, and we've had a couple fumbles. We've been fortunate not to lose. We got to stop that.
We're on one wide receiver to the near side. That's going to be Harrison. Wide receiver to the far side is Thomas. Tight end near side, or a wing rather, to either side. Short snap again for Lallemand. Deep back is Merrill. Face mask. They do call it. There it comes. There's another one coming in late. As Lallemand had his head turned around up there. He was getting bottled up. All kinds of bodies coming at him. Stepping his way in there. Brody Kennar, a sophomore, and getting contact.
Hogan's bringing the heat on defense every play.
So it's going to be a face mask. Trojans are going to get 15 yards out of that. That'll work out nicely for them. But, yeah, and sometimes what you got to do is run right at them. If they're going to be bringing the heat and they're going to be peeling their ears back, you got to run by them. You can't run away from them. And too much stuff going side to side right now trying to catch that edge. I get it. I get you want to do that if you're Coach Philpott, but occasionally you just got to turn. Their best play so far has been a straight dive to Huebner.
Yep.
And I think you can get the same thing from Merrill, who's that big body sitting back there right now just behind Lallemand. Everything's kind of tucked in there too, real tight. Sometimes you can stretch them out, make them cover a little bit more ground. Turn, hand off, there it is, right up the middle. Turn around and do it again. I would run that play until they stop it. It's a gain of 5 on that play up to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 5.
Keep running that play good, and that's going to open up a lot of things. It looks boring, but, that's what you got to have.
I love it. It's the greatest thing on earth is a 5-yard dive. And there's one right there on the dime by Merrill. Wide receiver far side, one to the near side is Thomas. Again, those same wing. It's pretty much a base formation for the Trojans. Sending man in motion, that's Huebner. Turn, handoff again up the middle. This is Merrill. He'll fall forward for a couple of yards. And what do you got? You got 3rd down and 2 after a gain of 3 here for the Trojans to bring up 3rd down and 2.
Got to keep it manageable just like that.
3rd down and a short 2 here for the Trojans across the 42-yard line. Final minute of this first quarter. Trojans 12-0 here on the road at Colgan. Lallemand, send a man in motion, and it brings them all across. That's going to be a free 5 for the Trojans. That was a good play there. They send Huebner like he's going to go in motion, and his direct stop, or abrupt stop, I should say, brings them off sides. Nice play call. Good design there for the Trojans to get a free 5. We are across the 45 now up to the 47-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for the Trojans.
That's kind of a good way to stop the heat up the middle there too, BJ. Throw one of those in every now and then.
Absolutely. Thomas to the near side. Harrison to the far side. Two wing, Merrill the deep back. Lallman, once again, that pistol. Low snap again. Turn, he'll pull it now. Caden will last minute. There was stopped immediately on the dive for Merrill, and then Caden tried to pull it out and just couldn't quite get his momentum going forward. He does end up getting a yard after what could have been not a great play. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Wasn't negative, though. That's what we need.
Exactly. That'll be the final play, I believe, of the first quarter. Well, Trojans have dug themselves a little bit of a hole in a couple of big plays, a punt return for a touchdown and a long run. We'll see if they can get it back when we come back in the second quarter. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live, presented by Craw-Kan.
Stop by and visit our friendly staff at Farmers Bank at any of our locations in Walnut. Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. For years, our customers have worked with the Farmers Bank staff located in Walnut, St. Paul, and Hepler. Now, with our new location in Girard, the community can experience the same service that has kept families coming back to Farmers Bank for generations. Stop by and visit our friendly staff at Farmers Bank at any of our locations in Walnut, St. Paul, Hepler, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Do you have a construction project that just needs that custom touch? Are you looking for a contractor who can get it all done? Roof to floors and everywhere in between? Then call Dustin Sneed at DS Construction. With more than 20 years of industry experience, DS Construction specializes in new construction, roofing, renovations, and more. There's no job too big or small. For a free estimate, call DS Construction at 620-724-0209. That's 620-724-0209.
Back out here to Hutchinson Field, B.J. Harris, Justin Tucker, Jess Murphy here as the Girard Trojans trail 12-0 after one quarter of play. As we will flip it and go the other direction here to start this second quarter. Trojans put together their best drive so far. They were able to pick up a first down off a face mask, picked up another first down off of an offsides penalty on a 3rd and short. And now looking at 2nd down and 9, just inside midfield there at the 48-yard line as we kick things off here in this second half. Their second quarter, rather. Send a man in motion. That's Oliveira. Straight drop Lallman. Has some time. Lets it fly. Tries to go up high like I talked about to Thomas, but a little too high. And a quick pass on 2nd down and 9. I get the idea there. Trying to get something, maybe catch him off guard a little bit, but it goes over the head of Thomas and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 9.
Nice job of blocking there by Ethan Merrill. He took the fake, and then he made a nice block on a kid that could have dropped Caden for a loss.
On that, something like that, too, getting the ball out. Certainly with Caden back there, a little undersized. You got to get their hands down as well, keeping those passes getting deflected. A passing situation here on 3rd down and 9. Roll to left side. The left-handed quarterback trying to shake Bevilacqua. He just can't. It's kind of their answer to Troike is Bevilacqua, that big body but can move a little bit. And he tracked him down, a loss of 4 on the play to bring up a 4th down and 14 for the Trojans in another punting situation.
No pressure that time. That was a 4-man rush. They just beat us to the outside there.
Yep. So 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14. And a punt as Clugson was punting. Now it's going to be Nigaman inside the 30-yard line. Snaps back to him. He'll get a boot on it. Little end-over-end kick. Going to get his Pacini loose ball once again. He'll fall on top of it, and that's a couple of those that they have had. Here with 11:09 to go in the first half. Score remains 12-0. And Colgan will start this drive at their own 29-yard line with 11:09 to go in the first half. defensively, it hasn't been too bad. The Trojans have had some pretty good plays and made some stops and limited them. It was just those big plays, and we talked about that early. We talked about keeping everything in front of you, not letting them hit you over the top of the long pass or whatever. Long run's very similar to that. And on that last long run by Dawson, it was the backside. So you got to keep coming. Even if it's going away from you, you got to keep working. They got it blocked pretty well, and that opened it up for them. Right in at quarterback still, Bevilacqua to his right, 3 wide receivers far side, straight drop for right. He's coming to the only guy near side, that's Pacini, and it's intercepted. What a play! He goes up and grabs that one. That was phenomenal play by Gabe Davenport, the 6'1", 165-pound junior, picks it off in the air, stepped in front of the wide receiver, and the Trojans are back in business at the 45-yard line.
And BJ, that wasn't just like they threw it to him.
That was beautiful.
He went and got that ball. He looked like he'd done that a lot of times.
Yeah, that was really well read and really well executed, and now the Trojans need to make some hay with it. Here as they will have their best field position of the night at their own 45-yard line. Just 8 seconds ago they were punting it, and now here they are with the football back.
Got to take advantage right here.
But you don't have to make a big play here. Just keep it simple. 2 to the far, 1 to the far side, 1 to the near side. 2 wings as well. Hubner shows in motion. Turn, kick it. Outside for Oliveira. Little stutter step. Freed up some room. He's got some more. Across the 10. Down the sideline. Knocked it out of bounds. Inside Panther territory. Across the 40. Up near the 35-yard line. Where do they knock him out at? It's going to be a gain of 22 yards on the carry. On that little stutter step, he caught it. Bevilacqua was there to make the play again, but he kind of hitched. I don't know if he meant to or if he just kind of slowed down a minute, but it was enough to make them stop. Gets the edge. 22-yard pickup.
Real nice run. He had some good speed there once he got going downhill.
Oliveira on the carry. Biggest play of the game so far for the Trojans. 1st and 10 inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Send him in motion. Straight drop. Lets it fly. Just wings it. Lallemand did not look. Did not have his eyes up when he threw that one. And it's going to be intercepted by Pacini. He'll be brought down, and the Trojans give it right back. Tackle made by Hubner. But the Trojans have given it back on their second play of this drive.
Colgan had some pressure up the middle there. They just beat the inside part of our line. And not a bad thought by Caden. He had big, tall, long Logan Thomas out there. He just underthrew it a little bit.
If you're going to let it just rip, you better get it all the way and at very least overthrow him. And that time he threw it under and an interception. Back-to-back, we trade the balls. 10:41 to play here in this first half. Panthers will have it at their own 24-yard line. Right. Handoff, Dawson. And he'll have maybe a gain of 2 on the play. Maybe 3 when they finally mark it. Yep, gain of 3 to bring up a second down and 7.
I think Lallemand was in there on that stop.
Your quarterback turn around and play one of your leading tacklers there at linebacker. That's not all that common, certainly anymore either. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Wide out to that far side is Blaze Dawson, the guy that had that 32-yard touchdown run a little bit ago. A little stoppage, and now white hat Gary Davis will let it rip. Right with Bevilacqua to his left. Straight drop, looking left all the way. Still looking. Pressure starting to come from Weidman. He steps around that one. He'll try to make one more guy miss. He can't. Right there is Oliveira to make the play. And in the right place at the right time, a gain of about 4 on the quarterback scramble, maybe 3. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and short 5. Talking with Coach Seamatter about his quarterback, Jake Wright. He was trying to be diplomatic about it. He says he's a very good thrower, very good passer. He's got a live arm and can get the ball and knows where to put it. And he said he's a serviceable runner. It's not his forte, but it's something he can do. And you kind of see that there where he probably could get out and make some people miss, but it wasn't real comfortable looking on the scramble, whereas Panthers have had some guys who that's what they did. Think of every Smith brother. They could run the ball. 2 wide receivers far side. They could throw it too. 1 to the near side. Right. Look, plenty of time. Now he ducks one guy. Weidman giving chase. Now he'll let it fly, and it's going to be incomplete. Good coverage again down there on that for the Trojans. Giving some coverage was Jarrett Buckle. Buckle, the 6'2", 164-pound senior, and that'll be a punting situation now for the Panthers. So the Trojan defense has been pretty stiff. That one breakdown is really all they've had on that touchdown run. Remember, the other touchdown was a punt return for a touchdown, and so the Panthers will punt it away here.
BJ, I've been impressed with our coverage so far.
Mm-hmm. Craw-Kan going to punt it away as he steps inside his own 20 at the 18-yard line. Man back to return for the Trojans. Craw-Kan, that is pretty nice. And it's going to be fielded. Davis did not fair catch it. He just took it and runs it up near the 40-yard line. That was gutsy for sure. I thought he fair caught it the way he was kind of nonchalantly waiting for it. That thing had plenty of airtime. And I think Craw-Kan's probably got himself an opportunity if he wants to go take it. They'll teach him how to do it exactly right.
Undoubtedly.
He certainly has a leg. He put that one down inside the 40-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will start this drive with 8:57 to play in this first half.
So, again, we've not got bad field position. You know, if we can't get a score, we need to pin them down deep like we did last time, even with the turnover. That's a big help.
Harrison will go wide to the far side. Near side will be Thomas. Wings are Oliveira and Hubner. The deep back this time is going to be Davis. Lallman will send Hubner. Now turn, hand off. Nope, kicked it. Oliveira fumbled it. Now he's got to get on it. Ball's still loose. Good night. Well, what's going to happen? It's going to be Panther football. Well, Oliveira's had a couple of those. We had one that looked like it was going to be a big play. He dropped it, and now this one's recovered by the Panthers. Pacini on the first play. So the last two drives, one an interception, 2 plays into it. First play, a fumble. And Pacini recovers it. And now they're in business. Miscues. Colgan will have it at the Girard 28-yard line. Here with 8:48 to play in the first half. You got to get a stop here. They've made them earn it, except for that one play. Make them earn it here. Cheney in motion. He'll get it near side pressure coming. D. Weidman all the way down. A big loss in the backfield on the play by Weidman. Back beyond the 35. They're going to give him forward progress to the 34. And that's where it'll be backed up to. He was there in a hurry, and he just whipped his dude.
Yep, D just beat his guy. D's always had pretty good movement, pretty good motion, and he's able to track people down back there.
Loss of 6 on the run to bring up a second down and 16 for the Panthers. 8:16 to go, first half. Trips to the far side, one to the near side. Cannon Keller, big fella near side. Right, flips it out there. Low catch by Pacini. Now they're going to say it was on the ground, incomplete. And end up probably being better.
Probably so by about a yard.
Well, yeah. By 2, it was going to be about a 2-yard loss, I think. Now they're going to back it up there. So he must have hit his knee down whenever he made that catch. And so it's a loss of 2 on the pass. And to bring up a third down and 18 here for the Panthers, and they're going the wrong direction.
Nice job by Brecken to get out there. He would have had that tackle even if they hadn't ruled him down. Brecken looks a lot faster than he did a year ago.
Trojans have dug themselves a 12-point hole, but I wouldn't say anybody has control of this football game right now. Right? Straight drop. Looking. Plenty of time. Lets it fly. Incomplete. 4th down. He had plenty of time on that time. Trojan, the offensive defensive line only rushed 3. That's all they get up there. And it's going to be a punt, perhaps, situation. Maybe they'll let Craw-Kan take a crack at this one. It'd be a heck of a field goal. And the Trojans, boy, the incomplete pass or intercepted pass, they get the stop. And then a fumble, and they get the stop. So they've done their part to keep things interesting. Pacini this time is going to punt. And Davis is back inside his own 5. Oh, this is a shank. That is going to be good for the Trojans, I believe, unless it hit before it went out of bounds over there. Well, they ended up getting a little bit better than I thought. That came off his foot pretty funky. Still not bad. Trojans are going to take over at their own 23-yard line.
We get the ball second half, BJ. If we could go put a drive together right here and punch one in the end zone, it's a whole new game.
Indeed. Trojans will take over at their own 23. Here was 7:09 to play in the first half, down 12-0 here on the road. First game of the year, first game in Southeast Kansas, the Kickoff Classic. Trojans played them in 2016, just during the regular season, not first game. Last time this game was played, first game of the year, was 2012. Trojans routed the Panthers in that one, actually. Lallman, handoff, good cut by Davis, but he's wrestled down on the play by 66, Blake Normand. It's going to be a gain of 1 on the run by Davis. And they'll bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Right now, BJ, I'd say the Colgan defensive line might be winning the battle here the last few drives. We need to pick it up a little bit down there.
It is a pretty good matchup, especially this right side.
Yeah.
Send Huebner in motion. Lallman turn off hand. Davis, he has to make one guy miss. Now he's driving forward. Good carry there by Davis up near the 30-yard line. He's going to be just shy of it. It'll be a gain of 6 on the play by Davis. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and manageable, 3rd down and 4. Long 4, long 3 or a short 4, however you want to look at it. We'll say long 3. And so a nice run there by Zach Davis, who they had Merrill in there at tailback. Now looking like they're getting some work for Davis. Huebner in motion, that hard snap, and get a free 5 again. Boy, it works like a charm. If it works, it works.
You bet. We'll take it.
That'll drive a coach crazy. Well, they're going to say, yeah, give them 5 for the Trojans. That's the thing. Like Sean Seamatter, head football coach for the Panthers, looks like he's 14 years old. And 6 years of that, he'll look like he's 80. That's why those head football coaches look the way they do. It'll be a 1st down for the Trojans up to the 35-yard line. Offsides has been one of their good plays on 3rd down for sure. Lallman, straight drop, lets it fly over the seam. He's got his man open at the 30, 40. He's going to be all the way. The 20, the 15, the 10, 5, touchdown. Trojans on a big play to Connor Oliveira. He had missed a few. He had dropped a couple. And this time, he'll take it in for 65 yards to the house on that just seam pass right down the middle. That's one that's an old option play. You pop the quarterback up and find him in the middle. And a 65-yard touchdown pitch and catch from Caden Lallman to Connor Oliveira. And the Trojans are back in business here with 5:34 to play in the first half. They'll kick the PAT is Garrett Humble going to kick that point after attempt. Well, Oliveira, I said, it dropped a couple snaps, it's dropped a couple pitches, but we're glad he caught that one down the middle.
Got some wheels.
Snaps back, holds down, kick is up, and it's good. And the Trojans back to within 5, 12-7 here in this first half. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
5:34 to play in the first half. Girard Trojans trail 12-7, but a big play, a 65-yard pitch and catch from Caden Lallman right down the middle.
Huge play there, BJ. That is something we needed terribly right there.
It pulls the Trojans within 5. They kick the point after attempt was good as well on the kick by Humble. And now they'll kick it away. Negaman, end over end kick, good one. Driving back, Pacini fielded at the 14-yard line. Center return. He's got some running room now. He's hit and brought down. Good tackle there by Merrill at the 30-yard line. And that's where the Panthers will take over this drive. Well, they did a lot. There'll be a lot to talk about at halftime, certainly even in this low-scoring affair, because there was a little run there where Trojans had an interception, Panthers had an interception, Trojans had a fumble, and now we're looking at 12-5. Trojan defense has played well, and they need to make one more stop here, perhaps get the ball back before halftime, as Colgan will take over here with 5:28 to play in the first half at their own 30-yard line. They give it to him at 31. One wide receiver near side, 2 to the far side, right quarterback, turn, handoff. Dawson going to far side. He's tripped up and brought down. Nice pursuit there by the Trojans. Caden Harrison going to make that play and just limiting to a gain of a couple perhaps.
I was glad Caden got him right there. He had some room.
Yep, just got his heels and knocked him down. It's going to be a gain of 2.
Looks like we've been rotating a few in and out on defense. Shireman's giving Weideman a break. Tucker and Bohr got a break last series.
It's warm. Certainly, it was pretty nice this morning. It got pretty warm out there, and so certainly got to hydrate and rotate as much as you can. Blitz up the middle. They don't get there. Throw it out. Got his man. Caught. Got to make that play. Can't do it. And it slowed him down enough, luckily, for the Trojans. But Merrill's going to bring him down up to the 45-yard line. But that is a big-time play there. A gain of 24 on the pass. 22, we'll call it, on the pass. And that'll be inside Trojan territory. You got to make that play. If you're going to let them play underneath you, if you come up to make that tackle, it's got to be there. And that's Gage Davenport on that coverage. He's already got an interception. It was a beauty earlier, so we'll give him a pass on that busted tackle. But you've used it. You've used your pass. 46-yard line is where this one's after the 22-yard pickup. Playing right here in front of us. And a guy in motion. That may have been delayed game. Coach is trying to get a timeout. They're going to give it to him. And so he gets a timeout before they get the delay game. Timeout on the field. We'll take it. We're back in 30. You're watching Trojan football on Girard Sports Live.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings. Leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
.442 to play in this first half. Girard Trojans trail the St. Mary's Craw-Kan Panthers by that margin of 12-7.
Be a big deal right here if we can hold them without a touchdown, even make them hold them to a field goal, even. You know, flip that second half. We got the ball coming out.
And I go back to my statement, and that was about 7 minutes ago, game time, where I don't feel like anybody has control of this ball game by any means. And oftentimes I've called a lot of these kickoff classics. I've called a lot of these games against Girard. About the time I started in broadcasting, Panthers went on a tear and didn't let the Trojans win for several years. I've seen some lopsided affairs, and this one does not appear to be one that's going to get out of hand for either team. And a penalty flag going to stop things. They're going to give a illegal procedure against the Panthers and back them up 5. Never good to come out of a timeout and do that, so it'll back them up inside their own territory now and to bring up a first down and 15.
And you're right, BJ. The difference in this game right now is the punt return and the long cutback run by Dawson. That's it.
Other than that, this Trojan defense has been pretty stout. Our camera operator only gets drops during breaks. Has a theory, just never punt. Never punt. You're gonna get that. You need to get a tattoo like that, Murph. It just says "never punt." That's just a life. That's just a life philosophy. One wide receiver far side, one to the near side. Right in that pistol, turn, handoff. Bevilacqua, big fella, breaks one tackle, breaks nearly another, and finally brings it down. I can tell you what, Ethan Merrill gonna think I'm gonna go low next time.
That'll convince you right there.
And it was a nice play coming in there hard. I believe that was Troike that nearly got him in the backfield. I'd like to see those two just meet in the hole one time, just to see what happens. Might see show up on the Richter scale. Those two met on just a dive play. I was waiting for them to go back to Bevilacqua because he was kind of a factor, and I think he's a load, but he's only had a couple of carries. He's mostly a blocking back, stays in on those passes as well. He picks up 2 on the play, brings up a second down and 13, maybe second down and 12 here for the Panthers. Trips to the far side. Rolling right side is right. He'll look. Down he goes. Good pursuit down the line and a nice play in the coverage. You mentioned the coverage earlier. That's pretty good right there. A gain of 3 on the play, maybe 4. But nice coming down Nigaman to make that play. No, that was 21 rather,
Jared
not 2. Buckles had a couple of nice plays in the secondary. And it'll bring up a third down and 9 here for the Panthers.
You know, we got the wrestling program started at Girard, BJ, and that's going to help some of that open field tackling. I know Oliveira's a wrestler. Buckle wrestled. Gabe Shireman wrestled. That's going to help play. That's going to help football players.
Absolutely. Ask any college coach who's recruiting D linemen, offensive linemen, linebackers. Here comes a blitz. They'll let it fly. They've got Pacini out there trying to get him some open field, and there's your open field tackle, and he brings him down. It's a gain of 1 on the play on a 3rd and 9. A host of Trojans leading the way. Connor Oliveira, who stepped up big in this ball game already with a big touchdown catch. He makes a play in the open field with some of his other teammates, and it's a 4th down. That Trojan defense been stout.
That's a big deal right there. Johnny had some room to run once he got the ball there, and the door closed fast.
4th down and 8. They'll punt it away. Back into punt is Kalan. 1 wide receiver far side, 1 to the near side. On those Gunners, rather. Back deep to receive is Davis. Low snap. Come and lay one on that one. Kalan not quite as good, but he's going to get a nice little roll. That's going to go inside the 10-yard line, and it's going to go down. They're going to mark it at the 7. There's right foot at the 8, rather, is where they're going to put that. And so Trojans have some room in front of them at 2:33. I'll take it in this first half.
Can't turn the ball over here. We've got to, we've either got to hit a big play, get a touchdown, or just eat the clock up as we drive down the field here. Worst thing we could do is fumble or throw a pick right here.
12-7 your score. 2:33 to play in the first half. GN Bank halftime show come your way in just a little bit. We'll recap this first half. We'll look at your halftime stats, get you ready for the second half as well. Maybe talk a little bit about next week's matchup with Baxter Springs as we go back to Frank Jameson Field. Walleman, send a man in motion, turn, hand off, Davis, big hole up the middle, cuts back against the grain across the 30, makes another guy miss at the 35-40, down the sideline, he goes at midfield, he's inside Panther territory, it's a huge pickup inside the 40, right at the 40-yard line. If that would have been at the goal line, it would have been a 60-yarder, we're calling 52-yard, 51-yard run officially on that one by Zach Davis, and that was just straight dive up the middle, made a nice cut to get some extra. Penalty flag all the way back here. Sideline warning going to be against the Panthers. And so that will be no factor. And the Trojans are now in business, just what the doctor ordered here with 2:23 to play in the first half.
Beautiful dive play. Huge hole right there. And then Zach did a really good job of changing direction several times to extend that run, probably another 20 yards.
Huge run by Zach Davis. Puts the Trojans in business at the 41-yard line. Should wind that clock. They stopped it for the penalty, actually, so they get a chance to set up and run this thing. Wide receiver far side, Thomas, near side, Harrison. Huebner in motion. Ballerman kicks it to Huebner. Nice play offensively. He's got some running room across the 30, more than 10, maybe 13, 14 yards, and that ball just pops out of there. I can tell you right now, from a linebacker's position, Lallman's taking advantage of his smaller stature because you can't see him pitch that ball. It just squirts out of there from that linebacker spot, and it's all of a sudden in Huebner's hand. It's a gain of 13, maybe 14 yards. It'll bring up a first down and 10 of the Trojans, making it happen. Stoppage and play. Maybe Coach Seamatter wanting to take and talk about this one. And they will discuss it. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Trojans have done a pretty good job. We'll recap this first half in just a little bit when we talk about it on the GN Bank halftime show. We want to take an opportunity once again. This is our 4th year of Girard Sports Live, 4th year streaming high school football, high school basketball, softball, baseball. The community of Girard, incredibly supportive. It's fantastic every year to get an opportunity to come talk to all the businesses and a lot of people I know, a lot of family and friends that own businesses in the area. And it's just tremendous, the amount of support. When I talk to people outside of this area about what this is and what Girard does, you kind of take it for granted, I think, a little bit. And I think it's phenomenal, and we're excited to be able to do it once again. Dale will be back in here next week, but I'm excited to be able to be here, be with you guys, and nice to work with you as well, Justin. And thanks to you and Murph stepping in and stepping up to come help us out and make for a good broadcast.
You bet. I couldn't be happier to be here. Love the announcing, but, man, I'm just at a football game, and it's been a long time, man. It feels great.
I told somebody earlier, this is like therapy for me. It's an opportunity to just put the headset on, forget about what else is going on in the world or going on at home or going on whatever, and just focus on one thing. And that's football, and that's a good game. We're getting a dandy of one right now here in this one. Trojans are on the march, a 51-yard run by Davis, and then another big run on the kick out. And we are looking at a first down and 10 now at the 32. Send a man in motion again. Ballman pulls it again. This time he'll keep it. Caden wants some of his own. He'll go up inside the 20, up near the 18-yard line. Another good run. It's the first time he's kept it on that pitch. It's a gain of 11 on the play. It'll move the chains once again, and the Trojans are knocking on the door.
We're running the option downhill, and that's something we struggled with last year, but everything's going downhill.
2 wide receivers near side this time. He'll send a man in motion. Trojans in a hurry. Oliveira, nope. He'll turn and hand it up right the middle to Davis. Another good one. This is more of a clock situation probably where you maybe take a little time. Now down to the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on just a straight dive to Davis, and I think the Trojans got the Panthers guessing a little bit. They've gone left. They've gone right. They've gone up the middle. They've gone up the middle again, and now the Trojans are here with first, second down, and 4 at the 6, or at the 11 rather. Turn. Option again. Lallemand kicked it last minute to Hubner. He breaks one tackle. He's got the first down up near the 5-yard line. I lost that ball completely. And the only person who knew where that ball at one point was Caden Lallemand in the entire earth. He's the only person who knew that ball was coming out. And it was enough for a first down. Maybe not advised, but it's still enough for a 10-yard pickup. Maybe 11 up to the 5. Trojans in a rush mode. Lallemand again, he'll keep it. Turns his shoulders up near the goal line. He's going to be just shy. It's a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a second down and goal from the 1-yard line.
Hey, it's working right now, man.
It
Everything up front's working. We've got the edges. We've got the middle.
47 seconds to play, too, in this first half. Ballman again, send a man in motion. Caden again going to keep it. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Trojans. Caden Lallemand directing a beautiful drive from that quarterback spot. Had some help from his friends as well, and he plunges in from 1 yard out on the Caden Lallemand touchdown run. And the Trojans are in front here in this kickoff classic with a point after attempt forthcoming. What a play there by the Trojans. Just that hurry-up offense out of the run that kept the Panthers. And now Nigaman to kick the point after attempt. And he's going to be up and good. It's not Nigaman. Nigaman's holding, rather.
Humble.
Kick after was Humble. And the Trojans are in head right now, 14-12 with 39 seconds to play in the first half. What a nice comeback after digging themselves into a hole. We'll talk about when we return here on Girard Sports Live.
Girard Medical Center now offers both outpatient pulmonary and cardiac rehabilitation services. Our approach combines physical therapy, respiratory therapy, behavioral health, and nutrition to help you become more fit and active.
With cardiac and pulmonary rehab, we want to focus on lifestyle changes. We provide people with education to help prevent further events.
Each treatment is unique to the individual patient because at Girard Medical Center, we care for our communities one patient at a time. Call us at 620-724-5126.
To 12 your score. Trojans have come back from a 12-point hole, and defensively they've really done a nice job. Only really one big play, maybe two, a big pass play in that last drive as well, but the Trojan defense have done well, and now the offense has come alive. That time, that drive started at their own 8-yard line, 92-yard drive in a minute 54. And now a squib kick by Nigaman going to be fielded, and that's where they will take over. That'll at the inside their own 30.
I like that call.
Agreed. And executed.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't see that one executed, but Panthers will start at their own 20. Come on, put the ball down. 24-yard line. Here with 39 seconds to play in this first half. Now you don't give up this big play.
Nope.
Keep everything in front of you. Get in the locker room with all the momentum. I said nobody had the momentum. I would say right now the Trojans probably do. They don't have a huge lead, but they do have a lead after trailing in this ball game early on. One wide receiver near side. Wide receiver far side. Dawson and Pacini. Roll right is right. Throws it out there. He's got his man. Going to be hit and brought down. Boy, Trojans attacking in that secondary. That's one thing I've noticed in the early going of this one. That's Buckle again, is more decisiveness, I guess, maybe when it comes to make the play. a little
I think
running through guys instead of running two guys on that secondary tackling. I mean, that's one of the things I've seen. Now Coach Seamatter wants to stop the play. Not sure why. Should be second down. I believe that was short of the sticks.
Yeah, it looks like about an 8-yard gain to me.
I don't know if that's what he's discussing. 15 seconds on the clock. Maybe he wants more time as well. Probably that wide receiver probably should have gone out of bounds. That was Caleb Hamilton. That's
yeah. Colgan only has one timeout left, so definitely, but hard for a young man to remember that.
They're going to go ahead and give him the first down. So a gain of 10 on the play. On the pass. But still, 15 seconds now on the clock. They're going to have to take a couple shots if they want to.
Nobody behind us here.
Two wide receivers far side. Pacini's in that slot. That's one I'm watching. Near side wide receivers, Aiden Fleming. There have been some pretty good wide receivers for Colgan named Fleming. And a lot of these pretty consistent names you get to see year in and year out. Right, rolling to his right. Look downfield. Pressure comes. Somebody gets up in his eyes. Now he lets it fly. Nice rope ball down the field. That thing never got up about 5 feet off the ground, but incomplete. Stops the clock with 17 seconds. They must have put more time on the clock. When I looked at that a minute ago, it was 15 seconds.
Yeah, you're right. I think maybe that had something to do with what Coach Seamatter was out there talking about.
I thought they were going to put more time on the clock, but I never saw him do it.
Well, I guess if they gave him a first down and didn't make it second down, that would have preserved a little bit of time.
Second down and 10, though, on the incomplete pass. The clock will stop at 17 seconds. Dawson to the left of right. Wide receiver far side, 3 to the near side. Straight drop, looking left all the way. Lets it fly. He's got a man in the window. Nearly intercepted. Boy, jumping on that one. Coming at it was Davenport, nearly his second pick. That was good coverage, though, again, as Oliveira was in front. Davenport coming over the top. Safety help coming from Nigaman. And Pacini a little slow.
I'll tell you, I'm really impressed by Gage, just the way he reads things back there and the way he breaks on balls.
Well, and when you put a little speed, he's got some length as well. That doesn't hurt. Joey was his dad was pretty lengthy and lanky and athletic as well. And so he can cover some ground. And that's exactly what he did right there. He's already got one interception. 3rd down and 10. And now,
flag.
Time winding down again. It's going to be a delayed game again against the Panthers. And right now they're a little out of sorts. Uncharacteristic, perhaps, of a Panther team. Trojans have stolen back the momentum. They trailed by 12. A punt return for a touchdown, and then a long 32-yard touchdown run by Blaze Dawson put the Panthers in front 12-0. They missed a couple of point after attempts. One on a high snap that was kicked, was blocked, and another was blocked or tipped. And then the Trojans come back. They started their last drive at their own 8-yard line with 2:33 to go, and they chew it up. In a minute 54, they go 92 yards and punch it in for a touchdown to go ahead, 14-12. That's where we are right now with just 11 seconds left to go in the first half. Straight drop again for Wright. Here comes Weidman. He's going to gobble him up. Nope, help from the other side.
The two big boys.
Meet him in the middle. That's a meet me at the quarterback sandwich between Eli Tucker and D. Weidman, and those are two fellas you don't want on top of you. And young Jake Wright, not a very welcome first game in Kansas for that young man, and that's going to end the first half. Boy, take some momentum to the locker room if you're the Trojans. That's for sure. We'll talk about it when we come back. Got a lot to get through on the GN Bank Halftime Show. Excited to do so. GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. We'll back to talk about it on the GN Bank Halftime Show on your home for Girard High School Athletics, Girard Sports Live.
Girard National Bank is now GN Bank. Family owned and operated, GN Bank has been providing customers with the highest quality of financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Whether you have personal, business, or agricultural needs, GN Bank is big enough to handle all of your banking needs, yet small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank. GN Bank, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more at gn-bank.com.
We used to rely on the magnificent Larry for all our entertainment needs.
Pick a card, any card.
Mom! But now, we've got Craw-Kan high-speed internet to keep us entertained. Now with Craw-Kan gigabit speed, we never lag, buffer, or even have a data cap. Our kids can even play their favorite online games with their friends.
You don't need a magician, you need Craw-Kan.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their number one goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judge Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you, so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, and Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go Trojans! Whisper a phrase into a person's ear, then pass it on to a group of people. Notice how the message changes by the time that the last person hears it? In business, consider word of mouth in the same light. What people say may turn into something different than you would like it to be. It can't be controlled. That's why Norris Advertising provides proven ad solutions through radio, billboards, and digital sign sales, allowing your message to be controlled by the person that knows your business best. You, Norris Advertising, a proud sponsor of Trojan Athletics.
Dance team getting ready to get going here at Hutchinson Field. BJ Harris, Justin Tucker, Jess Murphy here on the GM Bank halftime show as the Girard Trojans right now lead at 14-7, or 14-12 rather, over the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers. Time to take a look at our Eye on the Game, brought to you by Kennar Eye Care. Thanks to the support from their community, Kennar Eye Care has nearly doubled their space and extended their hours. They've got locations in both Pittsburgh and, of course, Girard. Kennar Eye Care is the clear choice. Make your appointment by calling 620-235-1737. Here's how we got to where we are on this Kennar Eye Care Eye on the Game. Panthers, Trojans won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. Remember that one. That could be big if they can keep that momentum going to the second half. Colgan would start at their own 34-yard line. They'd go 4 plays. They'd pick up 1 first down and punt it away with 9:36 to go in the first quarter. Trojans would get it at their own 21-yard line to start the drive. A couple of positive plays, but then going backwards a lot on that first drive. They punt it away. Colgan gets it back on that punt, and Gianni Piccini at that point takes it 55 yards on the punt return. The guy was there on coverage, couldn't make the tackle, and then he got an open field, cut it back against the grain, and put it in the house. Actually went down the sideline, put it in the house. And with 6:41 to play in the first half, the Trojans would trail 6-0. Panthers would take the lead after missing that PAT 6-0. Girard would get it back at their own 20-yard line, 6:41 to play. Again, a positive play. They did have a nice pass to Caden Harrison of 10 yards on that drive, but then a sack and an incomplete pass, a loss of 2 on a run, punt, give it back to the Panthers. Panthers would take over at their own 50-yard line. They go 4 plays, and on that fourth play, a 32-yard touchdown run by Blaze Dawson with 2:14 to play in the first quarter. PAT was no good again. It made it 12-0 at that point. But that's when the Trojans maybe started to have a little bit go right for them. They also had some wrong still. Trojans would take over at their own 23-yard line with 2:08 to go in the first quarter. They'd go 7 plays. They'd have a couple of good runs. They'd get a benefit of a face mask penalty. They'd have an offsides where they drew the defensive cross to pick up a first down, but eventually they would have to punt it away with 11:09 to start the second quarter. Panthers would get it at their own 29-yard line. First play from scrimmage after that, an interception by Gabe Davenport, and it's a beauty. It's a highlight reel interception, jumping in front of the wide receiver to make the play. Well, the joy was short-lived as the Trojans would take over their own 45-yard line with 11:01 to play in the first half, and they would have a 22-yard run and then an interception. With 10:41 to play, they would give it right back to the Panthers. Panthers would punt it away. Trojans would get it back. They would fumble it away. So it's back-to-back turnovers for the Trojans at 8:48 to go. That seems like a long time ago. 8:48 to go in the second quarter. Things did not look great. A couple of turnovers, down by 12. Defense was doing okay. Offense hadn't done much. Colgan gets it back, 3 and out, punt it away. Trojans get it at their own 23-yard line with 7:09 to go in the first half. They go 2 runs and then an offsides. They draw them offsides again, and then a 65-yard touchdown pass from Caden Lolleman to Connor Oliveira. Oliveira, a 65-yard catch, 5:34 to play in the first half. Trojans have closed the gap a little bit. It's 12-7 after the point after was good by Humble. Colgan would take it back. They'd have to punt it away. Girard would get it back. That was a beautiful punt by Kalan. Drove him all the way down inside the 10. Trojans start the drive with 2:33 to go in the first half at their own 8-yard line. The Trojans go 6 plays, 92 yards in a minute 54, and punch it in on a 1-yard touchdown run by Caden Lallman. Trojans had good runs by Oliveira, Hubner. Caden Davis got that one started on a 51-yard run on the first play from scrimmage. It was a beauty. Trojans punch it in, point after good again by Humble, and that put them at 14-12 with just a few seconds left. Panthers end up running a couple plays, a couple incomplete passes, and then a sack and an exclamation point on what was a very good first half by a couple of pretty big offensive or defensive linemen.
And it was, like you said, BJ, it was really a tale of 2 quarters, but more so a tale of 1.25 and 0.75 of another quarter. Things just changed.
Exactly.
I've got a few stats here, and no moms.
We'll get those in a minute. We'll do those when we come back. But those guys doing their job up front, getting it going. I believe the Trojans have the momentum. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll take a look at those stats when we return on the GM Bank Halftime Show. You're on Girard Sports Line.
Our eye care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Knar Eye Care, the clear choice for your family's vision.
Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Of course, Ag Choice has all the products you need to keep your crops growing, like fertilizer, crop protection products, and seed. But Ag Choice is also the first stop for keeping your livestock operation going, with a great selection of farm supplies, equipment, and quality feeds. To find solutions to all of your agricultural needs, contact Ag Choice of Hepler at 620-368-4347. Ag Choice of Hepler is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
Hydrix, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Samsung savings. Leave notes, sync calendars, and display your photos on the new Samsung Family Hub refrigerator. Plus, get free same-day delivery. Why shop for appliances where the motto is do it yourself when you can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day?
The only thing better than our price is our service. Hydrix, Fort Scott, and Girard.
Back here on the GN Bank Halftime Show, BJ Harris, Justin Tucker, and Jess Murphy. Not sure where Jess getting a little break over there. But halftime stats are brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services. You're more than just a number at Farm Bureau in Girard. Agents Judd Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho will work with you to find the right plan to meet your needs in a time when companies' data models are working to predict your every move. Farm Bureau offers the kind of personal touch you need when it comes to protecting what matters most. Give Farm Bureau Financial Services in Girard a call at 620-724-4213. What kind of numbers are we looking at over there?
Well, here's what I've got, and mamas, don't be too mad at me if I mess them up because they're probably not perfect, but I think they're pretty close.
Yep. This whole broadcast has a disclaimer on it.
That's right. Caden Lallman throwing the ball the first half. I've got Caden down. He's thrown 6 or 7 passes. It looks like he's completed about 4 of them. Of course, the big one there to Oliveira up the middle for the touchdown. Yep. I've got him down for 76 yards passing. Receiving, I've got Caden Harrison for 1 catch with 11. Mason Hubner's caught 2 balls for 18 yards. Oliveira, the big one, for 65. Total, 94 yards receiving there. Rushing-wise, I've got Girard right at 100 yards. Our rushing leader is Zach Davis. He had that long 51-yard run there in the second quarter. He's got 64 of them. Tackling leaders, we've got several. We've got quite a few at 2. Brecken's got 2. Looks like Connor's got 2. Jarrett Buckles got 2. Ethan Merrill's got 3 tackles. Brecken had a sack. Eli and Dee each had half a sack. Gage Davenport had that wonderful interception. We put the ball on the ground 2 times. We lost one of them, I believe.
Yep, and then had an interception as well. So 2 turnovers for the Trojans, 1 turnover for the Panthers in that first half.
1 penalty by Girard
on
first
the Trojans. Yeah, they've drawn off the Panthers a couple penalties to get first downs at a face mask, a couple offsides penalties as well. And so some of those statistics, I think you would say the Trojans probably have a little bit of an advantage. And then I go back to the defense for Girard right now. That's been the bright spot certainly for them. And to end the first half the way they did with a big sack of the quarterback with the 2 biggest dudes on the field meeting in the middle, that's a pretty good way to end a first half. We'll be back at it next Friday. So tomorrow all the action gets going throughout Southeast Kansas. Lots of good matchups. And then next Friday the Trojans will be at the friendly confines of Frank Jameson Field. That home schedule is actually pretty favorable for the Trojans this year. There's some pretty good games. That district schedule, I think we went on the road more than we wanted to last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's you get those at home. So if you get a little momentum here tonight, you can certainly parlay things into a nice little run in the season as long as we get an opportunity to play. Baxter is hosting Riverton tonight in a CNC clash. Columbus, a good matchup. Or not tonight, that's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night also Columbus against Frontenac. Galena's at Commerce. Pittsburgh High will host Levette County right here at Hutchinson Field. Fort Scott playing Summit Christian, an area game. Burlington at Wellsville in some of district competition the Trojans will have. Anderson County is against Parsons, and Prairie View is at Santa Fe Trail. So good thing for the Trojans. Now the other teams get to see the Trojans because they're all sitting at home watching, but the Trojans get to see everybody tomorrow night as well. And so hopefully they'll get a chance to do some scouting and get in a good place before things get going in full swing again next week. So we'll see how the second half goes in just a little bit. Trojans, I believe, do have the momentum. We'll take another quick break here on the halftime show. Come back, start to get things set for the second half. You're watching Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
Hello, let me sell you a car. You need a car? I work for Evans Motors, so please let me sell you a car.
Come on, let the boy sell you a car.
Let me come over for Thanksgiving dinner. You've already bought a car from me at Evans Motors. Please?
He's a hard-working boy. For the love of God, let him come over. He likes stuffing.
Can I go on vacation with you?
Mathis Drug Store Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drug Store, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
Here at Farmers Insurance, we want all of our students, faculty, and staff to know that we're cheering you on. This year, we would like to spotlight a student or staff member of Girard Schools as part of our weekly Girard Sports Live broadcast. If you would like to nominate any student or staff member as part of our weekly spotlight, contact our office.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Roto-Rooter is proud to serve Girard and the surrounding area, offering sewer and drain cleaning, as well as septic and grease trap pumping 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From toilet clogs to video inspections, sewer line repairs to complete replacements. To make an appointment, call 620-231-5630. Roto-Rooter is now owned by GHS alum Braden Peak and GMS teacher Heather Peak, and they are proud to support the Trojans. Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630. See their ad in names and numbers.
Call Service has a huge selection of tires from great brands. For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Call Service has a huge selection of tires from great brands, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Hankook, and Cooper. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service with fast, reliable on-the-farm service daily. Plus, Calls is the first stop for lube and oil changes in Girard. Get back in the game with a stop at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
Back out here to Hutchinson Field, B.J. Harris alongside me is Justin Tucker, Jess Murphy. Jess Murphy's being distracted by Brandon Brill still, so let's leave him alone. Leave him alone. Get back in your spot and leave him alone. You should be at home watching on Girard Sports Live. Getting ready to start this second half, just a few minutes away from it. The Girard Trojans again in head right now, 14-12. If you had done a poll about 9 minutes to go in the first half, you'd say there's no way they're going to be ahead for sure. But the Trojans do put together back-to-back good drives, a big, long touchdown pass, and then a big run by Zach Davis of 51 yards, got him into business, and then the Trojans just powered it through. I really liked the up-tempo. Once they got beyond the 30-yard line going in, it was bam, bam, bam. They did not let them get a chance to rest, and that's pretty cool. A lot of times people assume that up-tempo is a passing thing. That was up-tempo on a run.
Yep, it's like they hit a whole nother gear right there, BJ. Once they got them on their heels, they just kept rolling, and that was the last 8 minutes of that was just super impressive. Couldn't have been happier.
Yeah, you made the comment to me off the air. I'm going to share it to everybody else. That you felt like that was probably some of the best football the Trojans have had in the 4 years you've been watching.
That was complete. That was a complete 8 minutes there.
And I agree. I would tend to agree with you.
You know, the simplicity of the quick hit and pass play that we scored on, and then, you know, Zach's long run, that was just a dive up the middle. It was well blocked, and then played defense. I mean, it's got to be that simple.
Then we both were talking, too, off air about the secondary for the Trojans and how sure they've been in the tackling game. Now, obviously, we could jinx them, and that could all go south here in the second half. But so far, they've been pretty consistent when things have come their way, with a few exceptions.
Made some really nice open field tackles, and it seems like we're just really well. Everybody out there is a good athlete, and we're just able to track people down in the open field. We're able to turn hips. We're able to defend receivers out in open space.
Well, we talked about this too, and attacking and running through players and not being hesitant. So many times I've seen, even in the secondary with teams with the Trojans, it's really across high school football where you're waiting for the guy to come to you. And I don't know if it's the speed. I don't know if it's – and we don't get me wrong. So a lot of football you have to be played at a 2-point lead at halftime, but there does seem to be a little bit of a different gear for this Trojan team right now that they're operating on in comparison to their opponent right now. That is very uplifting and very positive. And now they get the ball to start this second half. Our second half kickoffs, just like the first, are brought to you by our friends at Larrett Ceramics, 503 West Maple in Girard. Stop by Larrett Ceramics for great gift ideas and supplies. Get creative when it comes to gift buying. And get your friends and family a beautiful ceramic piece, or even sign up for classes. Larrett Ceramics, 620-724-8442. And we do our hit of the game. We don't want to miss that. Hit of the game brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair. If your car takes a hit like poor Jake Wright did to close out that first half when D. Weidman and Eli Tucker hit him to send him into the locker room, it was in the locker room because it was halftime, then you need to take your car to Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers finishing, refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. It's one he will remember, I believe, or maybe forget. I don't know. And here we go. Second half coming your way. Trojans up by 2. And Kalon drives him into the end zone, Harrison, and he'll go to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will take over. That's a pretty good boot.
That's impressive.
And so Girard will start this second half with the football at their own 20.
Interesting to see what halftime adjustments both teams have made. Two good coaches going at it here.
And it's one of those two. The Trojans had finally got the momentum. I'd said multiple times during the first half that I didn't feel like anybody really had control of this football game, but it felt like the Trojans were taking it. They wouldn't have minded just continue to play, but now they'll take over here. Lawlerman One man behind him. He will send Oliveira in motion, toss it to him on the right side. He's got some running room. Got a guy out in front as well. Down the sidelines, Oliveira's got some scoots, man. And he's able to get across, and it's going to be a nice gain of 15 yards up to the 35-yard line on the run by Oliveira on a simple toss play and a good block out in front to boot.
Not something you expect to see from Girard coming out of the gate is to go around the end on a sweep. But, man, when Connor hits that outside, man, he's got some wheels.
Yeah, he gets there in a hurry. Merrill back in at tailback. Davis played in the second quarter. Merrill played in the first quarter, essentially. Here, Oliveira in motion again. Turn, handoff to Merrill, and he'll fall forward for a couple. And I do believe, I said it one time as well in that first half, that I thought on that drive that was successful, their last one where they punched in to take the lead, they had Panthers guessing a little bit. Trojans ran to the left, ran to the right, ran to the middle, just kind of kept them on their heels, and that's a nice gain of 3 on the play by Merrill. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 here for the Trojans. Opening drive of the second half for Girard. They lead by 2, 14-12. Wide receiver near side Thomas, far side Harrison. Lallman, that short little pistol. Turn, going to run option. Caden going to keep it himself, picking his way through. He's going to fall forward for a gain of a couple. He's going to be close to a first down across the 45, rather. If he gets across the 45, it should be a first down, and it is. It's a gain of 7 on the quarterback keeper. And that was just more of a wall, the offensive line getting upfield and getting some motion and getting everybody on their skates a little bit.
Yep, it is, and we're kind of going faster again, like you mentioned. We're huddling, but it's quick.
First down run by Lallman, across the 45 up to the 46-yard line. It's the same formation. They've done a lot with it. Toss sweep this time coming near side, cuts back against the grain, makes one guy miss, and he's going to just be lucky to be at the line of scrimmage. Is Oliveira. That one much better defended by the Panthers. Lucas McCain kind of disrupted that one, but Lucas is out there. And there's your cramps, brother. He said it, and 4 plays later, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be no gain on the play. Actually, a loss of no gain. Yeah, it'll be no gain. And they'll get Lucas McCain up.
Really shocked there hadn't been more of that. It's pretty hot, pretty humid out, and the kids probably have not been able to condition like they have the other years.
Well, if I was standing up like you were having to or Murphy's having to, I'd probably be cramping about right now. But luckily for me, I get to sit.
I drank a lot of pickle juice.
Did you?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
I've heard that. And Murph is cramping. You'll be all right.
But he can fish all day standing up.
Yeah. Is there that adage, it's too hot to fish? Is it ever too hot to fish, Murph? No? Never. So a little stoppage in play. Again, don't forget, Trojans back at it on Friday with the Baxter Springs Lions, but we will be back at it for Girard Sports Live on Tuesday, back over here at Colgan as the Trojan volleyball squad participates in a triangular over here. Dale will have that on Tuesday. Wallerman, send a man in motion. It's Merrill. Now he's looking to pass. He's got Thomas wide open across the 40, trying to make a guy miss. He does. He's still on his feet across the 35 and down near the 33-yard line, as that is a nice pickup there for Logan Thomas. It's going to be a gain of 17 yards on the play. No, 27 yards, rather, on the play.
Beautiful play. That's where you want to hit Logan.
Yeah, and he found that little window. Well-delivered ball by Lallman, and the Trojans now at the 33-yard line. Send a man in motion again. Turn, hand off. Nope, kick it. Oliveira, ball's loose. Jump on top of it. Live to play another down. That time it was not on his fault. I think that ball was a little behind, and I like it. Lallman, what he's doing is he's holding that ball so long. He's engaged with a defender, and it works. Pittsburgh State, Lateef Walker, back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000, would hold that ball. He had a dude completely engulfing him, and that ball would kick out, and it was going to be a big play. Anthony Chapman would grab that thing, and it was to the house. And that will work, but sometimes it's going to be a little awry, and that's what happened right there. It's a loss of 2, no harm, no foul. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 from the 35-yard line. Oliver in motion. Toss sweep that side. Makes one guy miss. Still on his feet. Stroked. But not before he gets across the 30 up to the the 27-yard line. Keller with a big tackle there. He's been a factor for them. Cannon Keller, big-bodied fella, number 9 on your screen. But a good run again by Oliveira as he makes up the 2 yards plus then some. So a gain of
about 7, 8
on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Trojans. This is definitely 4-down territory, so you don't necessarily have to get it all right here. 8:48 to play, opening drive of the second half for the Trojans. Turn, handoff, dragging forward. That's going to be close to a first down. It's going to be a little short, I believe, just across the 25 up near the 24-yard line. Ethan Merrill is going to gain up 3 on the play. It'll bring up a 4th down and 1 here for the Trojans.
Well, 4th and 1, I like our chances. We got a strong quarterback. We got a couple of big guys right up there up the middle. And we're really good at running a offsides play here.
I like the 4 minutes off the clock to start this second drive.
Amen
second
to that.
Half as well. 4th down and 1. There's that hard snap. There's another free 5. I tell you what, Sean Seamatter fired up. That'll drive a guy crazy.
Well, and I know you said, BJ, you and I talked about Coach Seamatter said he had a pretty young line.
Yeah.
And
yep. Young, inexperienced, big. And you called it. That hard count play there gets a free 5, and that's a big free 5. Trojans get a fresh set of downs. Approaching at 4 minutes on this drive that started at their own 20-yard line. I've gotten so excited I quit writing down plays too, so I don't know where we're at. Toss sweep near side. Trying to cut back against the grain. That's not going to be much there. Bevilacqua to close it out. First guy making contact for the Panthers was J. Joe Tenry. Whoa.
You know, we've run that toss sweep like that with motion several times. Yeah. I can tell you what that's setting up.
There's going to be that same dunk pass right down the seam is probably going to be available eventually. Certainly if you get into a bind here on 2nd and 13 now, back beyond the 20-yard line at the 22. He'll send Huebner in motion. Handoff in the middle, that little quick trap, and not a lot there. It'll get it maybe a yard on the play to become a 3rd down and 11, 3rd down and 12 for the Trojans. 7:02 to play. And the guy I just mentioned, Tenry, a little slow to get up. That looks like another cramp. Harrison going to be wide out to the far side. Near side will be Thomas once again. Oliveira wing near side. Far side wing in motion now is Huebner. He'll do that hard count. Now they'll look to the sideline to get the call for Philpott. 4 seconds on the play clock. Send a man in motion. Turn. Option. Loose ball. Picked up. Fumble. Trojans squander an opportunity. They burn a ton of time off the clock, but he rode it into the running back up the middle. He was trying to pull it to run that option. I think it was going to be there on the edge as well, but because there was so much traffic inside there, but it's recovered by Keller. And after all that, the Trojans end it with a fumble. With nearly half the third quarter, they burn up.
So well, we've got to stand up, play some D.
Absolutely. The defense was pretty salty in that first half. Really did a nice job. See if they can pick up where they left off and see what the Panthers have done to adjust. They flow everybody to the left side. 2 running backs in the backfield. Low snap. They'll get it up in the belly of Dawson. Pressure coming. Buckles there. First chase, Eli Tucker. He got past his guy as well to get in the backfield and cause a disruption. And Dawson's a little shaken up on the play. It'll be a loss of 1. Boy, that pretty good start there for the defense.
Yeah, I think Dawson probably just has a cramp the way it's looking. Good pursuit there, like he was talking about. You know, Jarrett Buckle came up from the corner. He didn't hesitate. He just went.
Helps when the big fella gets beyond. And we've seen that there's some one-on-one matchups going on up front. And some of this is going to come to conditioning, some just what do you got left in the tank, especially in the trenches. But, boy, that matchup between your boy and Taylor Torrance, that's some meat up front.
They're going to have some bruises on their arms tonight.
I mean, those two hit each other. They're 600 pounds sitting in one spot. For sure. It's marked at the 24-yard line. If you see it, it's this near side matchup right now. Eli's just left to the center, and there's Torrance there as well at big fella 67. He's going to pull. They're going to run that direction. Bevilacqua gets it. He's got a head of steam. That is a lot. He'll get on the outside. He's going to first down across the 35 up near the 36-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 13 on the play up to the 35, 36, and that'll move the chains.
I'd like to tell you who made that tackle, BJ, but on the far side with them white jerseys.
And yellow numerals. You got it out of me. I wasn't going to say anything. I've already made my feelings known to the powers that be at USD 248. So I hope that just when the time comes to replace those, we go with dark numerals. Wide receiver far side, Pacini near side is Fleming. I formation. He'll go under center. I haven't seen a ton of this. Turn, handoff. Bevilacqua again up fullback. He'll be tripped up. Nice play there by Brecken Troike.
I think Brecken's cramping up.
He's cramping up immediately as well. Boy, you are.
I've jinxed him.
I'm blaming you. Bevilacqua looks like he's got one as well. And that never happened to me. I don't think I have muscles that at the time were very, very crampy. I probably never did anything to earn one either.
Yeah, Bevilacqua's got one too.
So they went to that I formation. I think this is a palate cleansing moment for the Panthers. Like, hey, let's get back to the basics. Let's try to do something offensively. And so they're just running straight dive with the big fella. He's had it 2 times in a row. He'll come over and get stretched out, but without Troike in the ball game, that's puts him a little bit of a disadvantage for the Trojans to see if they can step up there. A gain of 3 on that first dive carry there by Bevilacqua brings up 2nd down and 7. Back to that pistol with a wide receiver to 2 wide receivers far side. Straight drop, throws it underneath for Fleming. Makes the catch. Trojans there. Can't make the initial contact. Help comes. Caden Lolleman comes over there to bring Fleming down. And we're in the point of the ball game where we've got a stoppage on every play right now. And Fleming this time's cramped up.
Well, if they do this long enough, everybody will get a chance to revive. Both sides.
And, yep, sorry about that. We got these listeners that keep your viewers that keep you honest. I like it. Thank you, Chris Seneca. It's 3rd quarter. It's first game. Hey, everybody's got their mistakes. Because of all these cramps, they're going to take a break and have some drinks, I believe. I think I will as well. We'll take a break. We'll come back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan Football, and you're home for Girard High School Athletics. Girard Sports Live.
Mathis Drugstore Incorporated has a proud Girard history of more than 50 years. Glenn and Karen Mathis took over the store in 1983 from Glenn's father and have been providing outstanding customer care and service since. At Mathis, they know their customers by name and value their support. Primary goal is to provide fast, accurate, friendly service. Mathis is a full-service pharmacy that accepts most insurance plans and supports competitive cash pricing. Mathis Drugstore, a proud supporter of Girard High School student-athletes.
They'll get Fleming up and get him to the sideline. It may have been a little more than a cramp. It took him a little while to get that worked out anyways. And so now the Trojans, or Panthers rather, with it, 1st and 10. Just inside the 50. Turn, handoff. Second guy through, not much there. That's a number we haven't seen yet tonight. In number 17, Bryce Wood. Senior running back is going to get a couple on the play, and this is starting to get a little comical.
Looks like Lolleman and Troike teamed up on that tackle.
We're going to have just no gain on the play. We're going to be 2nd down and 10. And this time that's the big fella Torrance. No, he was 67. 75 is J.J. Tenry.
I think he's the one that turned an ankle a minute ago, possibly.
I mean, this has been every play, 6 plays in a row probably, hasn't it?
Yes.
I mean, where we've had to stop play. It's not anybody's fault, I guess, but
just a hot, humid night in southeast Kansas.
Very fortunate. We're going to have some extra support from the Girard Trojan Booster Club. Appreciate them jumping on board this year to help us bring you more volleyball matches. You know, with the limited crowd sizes and everything, we really wanted to be able to bring you as much as possible. And so we're going to have a few more volleyball matches than we typically do. I'm going to try to get that full schedule put out next week so you guys will know when the Girard Sports Live will be. But just about every volleyball match, even home and away, there's a couple we're not going to be able to do but most of those will be broadcast. Of course, all the football games will be broadcast. We're going to then get going into the wintertime, and hopefully, if everything's still going, we're doing it 1 week at a time right now, baby.
Tell you what, I went and watched the volleyball players at Erie the other night. I got a daughter, it's a freshman, and that high school volleyball is a lot of fun to watch.
Yep. I got one starting 7th grade, first time playing school sports, and she's doing volleyball up there at Spring Hill, and they don't mess around with volleyball up there. I mean, it's a serious deal. So Tenry's going to get up and bring himself to the sideline. Seems to be okay. Todd Bryan's getting people back on the field for years. He took care of me. He looks pretty good for as old as he must be. If he was working on me when I was 18, he's got to be up there. Gary Davis, white hat, going to wind the clock. 2nd down and 10. Right, turn, handoff. Dawson stroked. Jarrett Buckle, another big hit. And another which would be our one of our nominees for our Bradshaw Collision Repair hit of the game. Thank you, Dawson, for getting to the sideline and getting stretched over here. And it's going to be a gain of just 1 on the play. Boy, Buckle.
You know, that's another one of them open field tackles that I'm telling you wrestling helps with right there.
Yeah, and he took his lumps on the wrestling mat. Hadn't done it a lot, but went out there and did it. And I guarantee you it is. You're right. It's parlayed himself, and he's going to do much better this year on the mat as well. And so 3 wide receivers far side and 1 to the near side, right? Snaps back, straight drop. Pressure starts to come. Throws it under. He's got his man Keller, and he makes the catch. Just stepped inside of Davis, did Keller. It's going to be enough for a first down. That'll be a gain of about 16 on 3rd down and 9. Up across the 40, up to the 39-yard line. And all the stoppages again. I'm lost track of my play count, but I'll know when we started and know when we ended. How about that?
There you go.
If you do that, in the middle doesn't really matter. Bevelak was just to the right. He's back into the ballgame after cramping up with right. Snap back. They'll turn, hand it off to him. Penalty flag comes in there. There's a head of steam coming. Good night, and he is off and running. One play, they're going to have a flag, though. Perhaps it's holding. We'll see. The White Hats calling it dead before he even gets there. And so this whole thing may be coming back. And it's going to be against the Panthers. And it's going to be a legal procedure. So it was before the snap. And that was a big one for Panthers. That false start is put that one in the back of your mind. That could have been real big. 2:53 to go again. The Trojans had this is just the second drive of the second half. The Trojans had the first drive. They took 5 minutes and 39 seconds off the clock on their opening drive, but it ended up fumbling.
And I'll tell you what, when Bevilacqua gets ahead of steam.
I'm not stepping in front of him. I wouldn't do an Olay so fast in the open field. But it backs him up 5 instead of being a touchdown. It's 1st and 15. 2 wide receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Tied in near side as well. All right, 4 yards deep. He'll turn, hand off, a little counter with Bevilacqua. This time not as much success. Tackle made in there. Eli Tucker on the bottom. Helped out
Kind
as
of a little
well.
trap play there.
A little counter action back there on his. Zach Shindo helping out as well for the Trojans.
You know, I've noticed D hadn't been out there a lot on defense the third quarter. Wonder if D's got a cramp or something going on over there.
1 wide receiver far side, 1 to the near side. 2 wide, actually. Pacini will be in the slot to the far side. Near side is McCain. Right, again in that short pistol set. Turn, handoff again. Bevilacqua trying to get to the edge. And then Buckle going to try to trip him up. Can't. Another player will. He kind of keep his feet. Zach Davis, they finally ride him all the way out of bounds. And Panther fans wanted a late hit. And they're not going to get it. It's going to be a good gain, though, on 2nd down and long. A gain of about 7, maybe 6. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 here for the Panthers. This is a pretty pivotal 3rd down here with 1:46 to go in the 3rd quarter. Trojans up by 2. Panthers driving a little bit. This has been a kind of a herky-jerky drive just because of all the cramping and injuries. And it certainly sucked some of the momentum away from the Trojans just from a time standpoint.
You can kind of feel it teetering right here, in my opinion.
Timeout will be taken. It'll be taken by the Panthers. Their first of 3 in the second half. We'll take it along with them. Trojans up by 2, trying to hold here on third down when we return on Girard Sports Live.
Do you have a construction project that just needs that custom touch? Are you looking for a contractor who can get it all done? Roof to floors and everywhere in between? Then call Dustin Sneed at DS Construction. With more than 20 years of industry experience, DS Construction specializes in new construction, roofing, renovations, and more. There's no job too big or small. For a free estimate, call DS Construction at 620-724-0209. That's 620-724-0209.
We used to rely on the magnificent Larry for all our entertainment needs.
Pick a card, any card.
Mom! But now, we've got Craw-Kan high-speed internet to keep us entertained. Now with Craw-Kan gigabit speed, we never lag, buffer, or even have a data cap. Our kids can even play their favorite online games with their friends.
You don't need a magician, you need Craw-Kan.
Third down and 4 here for the Panthers. Inside Trojan territory, driving on this one. Wright going to pass it on third down and 4. He's going to try to run now, tuck it. He won't. He'll get escorted out of bounds. That's going to drive the locals crazy that he didn't tuck that and run it earlier. But now it's going to be a 4th down, and that kind of goes back to what I talked about when I was talking to Coach Seamatter, that it's not his forte. It's not his first thought, anyways, is to pull it down and run it. And he will bring up a 4th down and 4. Maybe even lost a little bit of yardage on that play. It's at the 33-yard line.
Big play right here.
Big one for the Trojans. Minute 39 to play in the third quarter. Trojans lead by 2. They trailed by as many as 12 in that first quarter. Start of the second quarter. 4th down and a long 4 for Wright. Straight drop, looking all the way. Wants his man. It is incomplete, and the Trojan defense holds again. Good coverage and double coverage down the field. Giving it was Luke Nigaman coming over from that safety spot to give help. I think that play initially they were hoping that safety wouldn't come over. He does. It was front and back. Another great play for the Trojans and another good defensive stop that ends what they had a long drive, the Trojans did, and the Panthers will turn it over on downs with a minute 33 to play. Score will remain 14-12. Trojans need to get a little breathing room. Take this opportunity right now. Ball at the 33-yard line. Pretty good field position. Minute 33, get this thing into the fourth quarter and grind it out. Turn, handoff. A good run up the middle. It's going to be almost a gain of about 7 or 8 on a straight dive once again. We'll see who's back in there at tailback.
Merrill, isn't it?
It is Merrill. Caden Harrison having his own cramps. Tell a cramp from an actual injury. Sometimes it just looks like you've been shot in the leg. You're like walking and all of a sudden, boom, you've been shot in the leg.
Just go stiff like a board.
And if you've never had one before, it's like a stinger. It's like that first stinger. When you have your first stinger with your shoulder, you're convinced you're never going to walk again. There's a moment in your mind you're like, this is it. I'm never going to walk again. And then it kind of comes a little bit, and you come back, and you're like, oh, first time getting your air knocked out of your breath. It's like, well, this is how it goes. This is how it ends. Fall out of a hayloft onto your back and try to figure out if you can live again. But that's a cramp. They'll get him stretched out. This is going to make this game go on forever. This third quarter should have felt like it went quickly because there's only been 2 drives. This is the start of the third drive. Trojans had 1. Panthers have had 1. Minute 33 when they take over here now. A minute 12 to play in the third. But with some of this cramping and injuries, and probably to be expected, you probably don't feel like these kids probably got as much conditioning as they should have. We talked about that earlier, like some of the things you got to do in practices, the distancing and all that. There's one thing you can do is spread out and condition. Run gassers all practice to get yourself in shape, but it's just part of it. Pretty typical first game stuff in Southeast Kansas. I take it. Alternative is to be out in western Kansas, western Nebraska, where they get about 4 inches of rain a year. And
You know, here in a couple of weeks, it's going to be a little bit cooler, and that's
Yep.
going to help. And
Yep.
kids are going to be in better game shape.
Yep. Well, good first play for the Trojans. A run of 8 yards by Merrill. Bring up 2nd down and 2. Turn, handoff again, Merrill. This time he's met and not going to be much. Maybe be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. They will give him progress to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short for the Trojans. Just got to move the chains. Keep moving the chains. 48 seconds and counting here in this 3rd quarter. Oliveira in motion. Run forward. He's going to be close to a 1st down. I think he's going to have it. He will. Just fall apart. 3 back-to-back-to-back plays by Merrill, and he will get all of it. We'll give him 3 on the play and move the chains up to the 44-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Trojans from their own 44. Turn. Nope. Option. Lallman. That was ugly from the beginning. Merrill didn't hit the hole very hard. He didn't clear Lallman. So when Lallman turns to run the option, his running back's still there.
Yep.
You got to get all the way through. You got to sell that fake. That's one of the things in that dive play. If you're not going to get it, you still got to act like you're going to. We've seen that mesh point been, not great at times. But we're heading to the 4th quarter. Girard Trojans up by 2 heading into the 4th quarter on the road of the Kickoff Classic. Can they close the door when we return? We're back in 1 minute. You're watching Girard High School football on Girard Sports Live.
This is Greg from the original home location of Derailed Commodity in nearby Brazelton, Kansas. Our home location includes the warehouse for our company's 16 other stores, allowing us to feature a huge selection of furniture at outlet prices. We also feature by far the area's largest in-stock selection of carpet and floor coverings, and the absolute lowest prices on mattresses. We're your source for lodge-style rustic furniture for homes and cabins. So come see us at our large facility in Brazelton, your destination for outlet pricing.
Farm Bureau is proud to support Girard High School student athletes. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their #1 goal is to make insurance simple. Agents Judge Sasho, Lori Johnson, and Lisa Sasho take pride in educating their clients and members. There's a lot of information out there, and at Farm Bureau, they can explain it in a way that relates to you, so you can apply it to your life, family, farm, and future. To learn more, contact Judd, Lori, and Lisa at 620-724-4213. Go!
Here we go, getting ready to go into this 4th quarter. The Girard Trojans, St. Mary's Colgan Panthers. BJ Harris with you alongside me, Justin Tucker, Jess Murphy here from downtown Pittsburgh. Brand new field, Mammoth Sports Construction putting that field down. They did it over at Pittsburgh as well. Big supporters of mine, the Kansas Shrine Bowl. And, boy, they do good work. That is a sweet-looking field. Here we go, 2nd down and 11. Lallman whips it out there. He's got Thomas. He nearly breaks that initial contact, but gets across midfield. It's a good pitch and catch. Real simple. The passing game has been simple but effective. In fact, the biggest one was a 65-yard touchdown pitch and catch right down the middle on a seam pass. That's a pass of about 8 yards on 2nd down and 11. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long 2 here for the Trojans.
Puts us in a real good place for 3rd and short right here. It's well suited to our skill set.
3rd down and 2. 2 wide receivers near side. The slot's Hubner. Tailback is Merrill. Lallman going to pass again. He'll whip it out here. He's got his man, Oliveira, trying to make him miss. He does. Makes another guy miss. He's got some blockers out in front now. Down the sidelines. Oliveira, what a great play by him to keep that thing alive. It had no chance. It was dead to rights, and he just kept working. It's a 14-yard pitch and catch on 3rd down and 3. And a 1st down inside Panther territory. What a good one. He's had a ball game.
And he can make people miss when he gets in the open field. He's cramped up right now, but he is impressive when he gets in the open field.
A lot of guys had a big factor last year, right? I mean, he did not play a whole lot. But
last year was his first year at Girard.
Yep, and now he is out there working. And that little that little slot, mid-sized, undersized guy who's got some speed. Boy, you see guys like that utilized, within this offense scale. But that type of guy where you can come out of the backfield, catch a swing pass, you can catch one down the middle in a seam pass. I mean, that's a utility player that's a nice weapon that a guy like Neil Philpott can utilize, and he has done so far. Oliveira will get stretched out on the sidelines. Merrill's still at tailback. He'll get this one right up the middle. A quick hitter by Ethan Merrill and a nice gain on first down and 10. It is going to be a gain of about 6 on 1st and 10 by Merrill.
Merrill's been our workhorse.
And going to bring up a 2nd down and 4. The Trojans grinding one here. Their first drive went almost 6 minutes. This one to start this fourth quarter rather. It took over with 1:33 to go in the third. Again, Merrill, this time met by Torrance. He'll be shy of the first down, I believe. Just shy. And then I bring up a 3rd down and very short here for the Trojans. 10:51 to play in the ball game. Girard leads by 2. Trojans trailed 12-0 in the first quarter. In the start of the second quarter, they scored 14 unanswered to close out the first half. A scoreless third quarter that only had basically 2 possessions, one from each team. And now this one. Toss sweep, far side, Hubner trying to catch the edge. It's going to be a holding penalty going to be called against the Trojans. And now a lot going on afterwards. Wyatt Foley out there trying to get a block. He couldn't get the edge sealed. And for Hubner, it didn't work out very good for him. So on 3rd down and 1, penalty flag, holding's going to be costly. I'll try to run that seam pass one more time. Right here would be a good place for it.
Bad timing on that deal, but, we've been really fortunate tonight with the penalties. That's coaching.
Yeah, it's been minimal. Was that just the second one?
Yes.
Yeah. So for the Trojans, that's pretty good. There have been some costly ones for the Panthers, but that one hurt. And it's a spot foul, so it's back beyond that mark. So from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and basically 15 here for the Trojans. We'll see what they got drawn up. Straight drop. Lallman drops his shoulder. Now he's going to try to run with it. Caden trying to pick up what he can. Do what you can. Good coverage downfield. They had that in the middle of the field. They were looking that direction. But wisely not going to turn it over here. Give yourself a chance here on now 4th down and manageable for Lallman. That's going to be a run of about 12 yards.
That's a senior quarterback right there.
Maybe give him 10 yards on that carry. 11 yards, actually, up to that. So bring up 4th down and about 5. See what they've got here. Lallman, straight drop, looks back against the green. He's got his guy. It's caught. Touchdown, Trojans. The 2nd touchdown catch of the ball game for Connor Oliveira. That guy gets in there. That was a nice ball by Lallman, and he punches it in. That was where that ball was at the time.
22.
At the 22. So a 22-yard pitch and catch from Caden Lallman to Connor Oliveira, who is making his name for a player of the game mark for sure. A 65-yard touchdown catch and a 22-yard touchdown catch by Oliveira, and gives the Trojans a 20-12 lead with 9:31 to play in the ball game. They're going to make this point after attempt. Snaps back, holds down, kick is on its way, and it's going to be no good on that one by Humble. And so it will stay at this mark, a 1-touchdown game, touchdown plus PAT. 20-12 your score. Trojans do lead it, though. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan football.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon and pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue mascot debit card. While you're there, be sure to ask about Secure Lock, mobile banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools.
Member FDIC.
Go Trojans!
Trojan offense doing some work. Nice drive again. That one started at their own 33-yard line with 1:33 to go in the third quarter. 9:31 now to go in this ball game. Trojans lead at 20-12 after a 22-yard pitch and catch from Caden Lolliman to Connor Oliveira. Oliveira's second touchdown catch of the ball game. He's got nearly 100 yards receiving, close to it, I would say, at this point. And he is definitely a nominee for our Evans Motors Player of the Game coming up in our postgame show, brought to you by Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance. 9:31 to play in the ball game. Niggeman going to keep this one low and going to be fielded nicely there by Kalan, I believe, and he's going to catch it and bring it up near the 40. Kicker getting some action. And that'll be pretty good field position for the Panthers, as they will start at their own 39 officially with 9:26 to play in this ball game. Trojan defense has been good. Up front, I would say probably even, stalemate perhaps between the trenches, but the difference has been in the secondary, and this Trojan defense has been able to keep things in front of them, make pretty good tackles at the point of attack, and have been nice in the secondary. See if they can keep that going. Now they'll go to that I formation. They'll put right under center. Only maybe the second time they've done that all night. Piccini goes in motion, turn handoff Bevilacqua. The bulldozer rolls forward. Eli Tucker got a heel and got it dragged a little bit. Helped out in that play by the Trojans. Josh Bohr getting in on it as well. I'm usually the guy at home telling Dale to do this, so I don't have me to tell me, so other people have to. It's all good. Just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and 1 after a gain of 9 on the carry by Bevilacqua. Again, he's the fullback. Fleming the tailback. Turn, handoff to the big fella. He'll fall across midfield. A gain of 2 on the play. It's a 1st down. Again, the other stuff they were doing wasn't working.
Nope.
And so they have definitely gone to a plan of let's try to power it in there a little bit with Bevilacqua. And this is where I've said it's kind of a stalemate up front. This is where these guys are going to have to step up. And really, that was a pretty good play there on a 2nd and short. 8:30 to play in the ball game. Trojans up by 8. Eli Tucker right over the ball. Just shade to the left side. Right back in that pistol set. Bevilacqua to his left. Blitz comes. They blitz right into it. He's there. Help comes. It was brought initially by Caden Lolliman, and then a little help from his friends with Niggeman and Jarrett Buckle to clean things up for the Trojans, but it all started with that linebacker, Lolliman, getting in there and making Bevilacqua stop. He was the blitzer on that far side, and boy, they didn't pick it up at all. A big loss, a loss of 6 on the play, brings up 2nd down and 16 back inside Panther territory.
That's big right there. Big.
2 wide receivers far side, 1 to the near side. That's Fleming. Bevilacqua again in the backfield next to Wright, the quarterback. Trojans walk up a linebacker and then back him off. Straight drop. This is going to be a big play. Looking downfield, long pass. Up it goes. It is over the head and incomplete. Incomplete pass. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long. 7:32 to play.
Davis on coverage, I think.
There's a couple guys.
Yeah.
A long ways away, brother. But a 3rd down and 16 is where this one will sit now. This would go a long way to helping the Trojans seal the deal. If they can get a stop right here, get that ball back. Their last couple drives have been long, grinding drives, have taken some time off the clock. They need to stop at another one of those. And we're going to call it a good night. Play clock down to 2. Now 1. And that's a delay of game if they don't get a timeout. And they do. They do not get a timeout. And so instead of 3rd down and 16, it's going to be 3rd down and more than that, 21. You see that? See that math skills?
Mm-hmm.
Impressive. Murphy had to hold one finger up to get that 21. I got all the way at 20, couldn't get past it. I appreciate the help. To the 40-yard line is where it'll be for a 3rd down and a long way, 21 yards. Trips to the near side, wide receiver far side is Keller, the big fella. Piccini in the backfield with Wright. They're just going to flip this one out here, try to get some open field. They got it. And it's going to be, got to make a tackle, and they will get a big chunk of it back all the way up near the 45-yard line on a 3rd and long. It's a gain of 20 or 15, 16 yards. And so it'll bring up a 4th down and a little more manageable, 4th and 6 at the 45-yard line. 7:09 to play in the ball game. Trojans lead by 8. This is a big play right here. And and they might be punting. I'm surprised. I thought they were going to go for it here. They're going to kick it away. If they make that PAT, if Girard makes that PAT, I think you go for it.
Yep.
But because it's still a one-possession game, you can have a chance to punt it. Kalani, you got a pretty good punter. We'll get a boot into this one. This is going to be a dandy. This is going to pin him back. Davis going to catch it. He is crazy with some of the catches he's made with people right on top of him. He'll catch it. No return on it. They're going to give him progress to the 13-yard line, or excuse me, the 18-yard line, and that's where the Trojans will take over at their own 18 with 6:37 to play in the ball game and the lead.
Got to have a long grinder right here, BJ.
Yep, I think so. I think in that situation, just because it's a one-possession game, I think you're right. That's the right call to punt it and make it at the 18-yard line. But the Trojans need to grind one out here. 6:37 to play in the ball game. They've got a long way to go. 82 yards. Lallman sends Huebner in motion. Turn, hand up the middle. Another quick hitter, Davis. And got to take care of that football. Boy, still driving forward is Zach Davis. And he's going to have a nice gain on 1st down up to the 25. It'll be a gain of 7. I'll bring up a 2nd down and 3.
That's the heart we need right there in the last half of the 4th quarter.
Still driving his leg, yeah.
Every player.
He was down, but he kept driving. And he hits the hole pretty hard. Pretty hard. Clock continues to tick here. Approaching the 6-minute mark. 2 wide receivers far side. Huebner in motion. Turn, dive again. Davis has got the 1st down up near the 30, up to the 29-yard line. It's a 1st down for the Trojans. It'll move the chains. Take care of that football. They're really raking it out in there whenever he comes through the line. But it'll be a 1st down for the Trojans. They will mark the nose of the football right at the 30-yard line. And another guy that still, he's just battling that left ankle is the big guy, J. Joe Tenry. It's been 2 plays in a row to Zach Davis. Clock continues to tick. They wind it again and let it rip. 5:48 to play in the ball game. Trojans with the lead. Trailed by 12 in the 1st quarter of this ball game. In motion goes Huebner. They toss it out there to him. He's got the edge, does he? Trying to cut back. They close it in a hurry. Still on his feet. Now you just kind of hold on to the football and hope to play another down. It'll pick up 1.5 maybe on the play. It looked like it was going to be open. You run that to the wide side of the field. Oftentimes you don't have the numbers there, but you got room to stretch it out if you can find a hole. Just never found that hole to bring up 2nd down and 8. Every play, you take plenty of time. 22 seconds on the play clock. That thing needs to be snapped about 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned it earlier, having a senior quarterback, and he's had some snaps, and he's played a lot of sports. And so he was a guy who can hold it. Turn, handoff. Davis again. Still on his feet. He's going to get forward progress across the 35. It'll be a gain of about 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Trojans. They're going to give him a little bit more than that, actually, up across the 30, up to the 36-yard line. So gain of about 4 to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Pretty manageable yardage right here.
4:19 and counting in this 4th quarter. Trojans lead it 20-12. They scored 20 unanswered. Starting back in about the 8-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. Ball. Allman looking down. He's got Huebner. Can't get it. And it's going to fall incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down and probably a punting situation here for the Trojans. Huebner a little cramped up as well. That didn't start well. Oliveira on this near side is probably going to get called for a false start at some point. He's leaning as that wing back. And they'll catch that. If I'm one of the coaches up here in the booth, now that's one thing, Coach Seamatter, is at a little bit of a disadvantage. His eyes up here are a combined age of 30 years old. And these guys are young. Cade Simmons is one of them, college kid. Colgan, really good quarterback for him a few years ago. But you see that guy leaning forward. You tell the coach. He goes and tells the official, hey, when that guy's leaning forward, you need to call a penalty on him. They're not going to catch that. Here's Nick. I'm going to snap the punt. No real rush. He'll get a good boot driving back. That got a nice angle. It's going to guy. Can it die? Can it die? Can it die? It does! Oh, they're going to mark it down at the goal line. What in the world? That's going to be like a 70-yard punt.
And it was a perfect spiral. Wow, that's amazing.
That thing, it hit first at about the 15. Took a roll, started spinning, got down and rolled a little English on it inside the 3 and went dead at the 1 foot line. Are you kidding me? That was phenomenal. That is just what the doctor ordered. That's why you punt sometimes, Murph. Ends in a punt. It's a long one with 3:47 to play. Trojans still up 20-12. Panthers deep inside their own territory. They'll turn. They're going to hand it probably to the big guy. He's not going to have much. Does he get out of the goal line? They do give him about maybe a yard. Maybe if they get him back to line of scrimmage. This is a place where Bevilacqua certainly makes his money, trying to get him out of there. But that time, Trojans stiff, nothing doing. Don't give up the big play right here. It's a no gain on the play.
Got to watch the ball here. It's a real good place for them to try to bring us off sides.
Right? He's going to get up under center. Turn, hand off. Bevilacqua's got his running room. Now he's giving guys a piggyback route. He's going to clear that goal line, give him a little bit of space up to the 14-yard line. And that'll be certainly enough for a first down, a gain of about 13 on the play. And that time he found a little bit of a hole. .257, a minute into this drive for the Panthers. Trojans up by 8. Point after attempt, man. Trojans have made a couple. Panthers haven't, though, so it could have been different. Trojans could have not made theirs. This would be much more interesting. As it stands, it's still a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Panthers still a long way from home. They'll give the end around. Trojans bottle that up. Not much there. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. No gain on the play for the Panthers.
Real nice contain there. I can't see who it was.
The Panthers have 2 timeouts. Trojans still have all 3 of theirs. And there's not a big sense of urgency from this Panther team.
Yeah, don't want them to lull us to sleep here. We got to be on our heels a little bit.
2nd down and 10 for Colgan. Turn. Hand off. Nothing there.
Troike back there
Troike comes in
disrupted
there. Yep. Brecken Troike coming in hard. Eli Tucker getting up there last. Gabe Shireman coming in from that end spot as well. Good team effort, but Troike comes flying in there. And it's a loss of 1 on the player, but 3rd down and 11.
Okay, guys.
Right in shotgun. To his left is Dawson. Straight drop, looking down deep all the way over the top, and help comes, and they're going to call flag.
Back there.
Not sure whether if it's here, it was holding.
Yeah.
They wanted the pass interference. The hometown crowd's been calling for that one all night, pass interference. I didn't see pass interference necessarily. Everybody's got an option for that ball, and that defender was in a better position, frankly, than the wide receiver. Now, if it's a hold back there, I didn't see that, but it could have been. It'll be a break for the Panthers, most likely.
High school pass interference, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down, isn't it, BJ?
Did they call pass? I never saw a call.
I didn't either.
He got 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. If it was
Yeah.
a hold, it would have been out here
Okay.
and marked from here, I believe. Maybe not, but it's a first down nonetheless for the Panthers. Here's Wright again. Pressure starts to come. People begging Wright to run it, and he will, and he'll be out of bounds. As Keller tries to come back, get a crack back on Brecken Troike. Not much there. He will run it out of bounds with 1:14 to play. The locals, natives were getting restless on that one. He had a ton of room out there. And I like the Trojans. Let him run it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't give up the deep one. Don't get sucked up on him because he hasn't proven that he really wants to. It does go out of bounds. It will stop the clock with 1:14 to play, however. They'll go 3 wide receivers near side. Dawson will split out to the far side. Bevilacqua back in at running back, likely in there to block for Wright. He'll roll this time to the near side. Lets it fly. He's got his man caught. He'll cut back against the grain. He'll stay in bounds, however. It's going to be short of a first down right up at midfield. It's a gain of 9 on the play on the pitch and catch. Caught there from Wright to Doug Brown.
Good job by Davenport to wrap him up, not let him go anywhere.
We're under a minute to play now here in this ball game. Panthers with it at the 50-yard line with 2 timeouts. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far side. And a timeout going to be called by Coach Philpott. I like it. Take a timeout right here with 42 seconds to play. Draw up the next 42 seconds how you want it to end. And we will talk about it when we return. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Trojan Football on Girard Sports Live.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, then I look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, lovely day.
Twenty to 12 your score, 42 seconds to play in the ball game. Girard Trojans lead by 8. Girard trailed by 12 at one point in this ball game, trying to get out of here with a victory to kick off the 2020 season. Right in that pistol set, he'll roll right side, look downfield, lets it fly. He's got a man open. That's Pacini, the quarterback from a year ago. And he'll knock it out of bounds, a gain of 11 on the play. It'll bring up a first down and 10 across the 40 up to the 39-yard line, stops the clock with 36 seconds. Well, how many of those can you get in 36 seconds? That's the question. Certainly more stress than I expected tonight. Thrilled about it. Flip it. Woods to the far side. Coach still directing traffic. I don't think he's got people where he wants it. Pressure coming. D. Weidman giving it. Now he'll roll, get some room, flips it out. He's just going to throw it away. There's nobody there. That's going to be, grounding. It didn't go out of bounds. So that's one thing. When he threw that ball away, it didn't go out of bounds. It did stay in bounds when he threw it. I think if you throw that out of there, maybe. But Wright not happy about it.
D's first play back in there on defense in a while, and he recharged. He came off the end like he was on fire.
Yeah, he came down there. They did keep him from doing it. But that's going to be a loss of down as well. It is. It'll be a penalty of 10 yards. And they penalized him 11 yards because that ball was at the 39. They backed it up to the 50. Not sure why, unless it was that spot. I got to brush up on my rule book.
Yeah.
1 to the far side, 3 to the near side. Loss of down makes it second down and over 20 yards. Straight drop for Wright. Pressure coming again. He'll roll again. He'll look, still look, sets his feet, lets it fly. There's a guy behind him. Ball up. Oh, Nigaman can't quite pull it down. He had some contact. Penalty flag all the way back in the backfield, but Nigaman was there on coverage. That was one where it held up there so long. Sometimes as a defender, you get caught watching the ball and forget there's a guy might be behind you. It was almost that, but Nigaman knocks it down. We'll see what the penalty is. It's going to be a hit to the head against the Trojans. Ooh. That's bad. That'll be a 15-yarder. It'll be a first down as well, I believe. So that's going to put it all the way back up to the 40. Legal hit to the head. 19 seconds to play, but now the ball's up to the 35-yard line. Ugh. Now the Trojans, 19 seconds. Still up by 8. 2 wide receivers near side. One to the far side. Straight drop. Right. That's plenty of time. Lets it fly over the middle. He's got his guy nearly intercepted again. Nearly again, Nigaman. And it falls incomplete. It'll stop the clock with 14 seconds to play and bring up a fourth down. That wasn't an automatic first down. They were so far after that penalty, it just moved the ball up 15 yards, but did not give them an automatic first down. So that brings up third down and about 6 for the Panthers. Keller to the far side, trips near side. It's Piccini, Fleming, and Dawson. Quarterback right, stepping at the 40. Straight drop, looking again, lets it fly over the middle. Little high, incomplete, fourth down.
Fourth and ball game right here.
8 seconds to play. Wright has had the high ball working quite a bit tonight. He hadn't quite put one where he wants it yet. Certainly don't want him to do it right here. You're right, this is probably for all the marbles in this one. Panthers would still have to get 2, even if they got in the end zone here, just to go to overtime. But, well, you don't even want to go to that point if you can help it. 8 seconds to play in this one. Trips to the far side, 1 to the near side. Could be the final play of the ball game. Right, straight drop, pressure coming. They are on him. Lets it fly. It is incomplete. That's going to do it. 3 seconds on the clock. Trojans will get a chance to come out on the field and take the old victory kneel. What a way to kick off the 2020 season. What a lot of grit and tenacity the Trojans showed in this one to battle back from 12 points down in the first quarter. First game of the year, that'd be easy to pack it in and go home and to be like, gosh darn it, that first quarter didn't go our way. But they didn't do that. And boy, did they ever come back with a vengeance, score 20 unanswered, and they get the line up in victory here at Craw-Kan. How about that?
Can't be happier. I mean, they came out and got down by 12. It kind of looked like a replay of what we'd seen the last couple of years, and they stepped up. They stepped up and got it done.
What a big play there for the Trojans. And Lallemand going to take that knee. And the Girard Trojans are going to get the kickoff classic. That's 2 in a row, by the way. 2012 and 2020, the Trojans have won the kickoff classic. And that is a good victory. We talked about it in the open, how sometimes this first game of the year can kick off the season and can give you some momentum going into the year. We're going to get a chance to see it. Trojans are back in it next Friday as they take on the Baxter Springs Lions. But we've got a lot to unpack here in this one as the Girard Trojans are victorious in this first game of the year as they knock off the Craw-Kan Panthers 20-12 in the kickoff classic. We'll talk about it next as we kick off the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance post-game show. Leah Smith Agency Leah has over 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri. Let Leah and her staff find the right coverage for your personal and business needs. To learn more, call 620-670-4590. Proudly serving our community and cheering on the Trojans. Final score, 20-12. Trojans win it here over the Panthers. We'll talk about it next on the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance postgame show on Girard Sports Live.
Here at Farmers Insurance, we want all of our students, faculty, and staff to know that we're cheering you on. This year, we would like to spotlight a student or staff member of Girard Schools as part of our weekly Girard Sports Live broadcast. If you would like to nominate any student or staff member as part of our weekly spotlight, contact our office.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Stop in soon and pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue mascot debit card. While you're there, be sure to ask about Secure Lock, mobile banking, Guardian Secure Checking, and People Pay. Learn more at mybankcnb.com. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools.
Member FDIC.
Go Trojans!
If you're in the market to buy or sell a house, land, or commercial space, look no further than Lehman Realty. Locally owned and operated, Jason Lehman and his staff are ready to meet the needs of every client. When it comes to your listing, you can trust that Lehman Realty will take the time to get to know you and your property. Lehman Realty is a proud supporter of Girard Trojan Athletics. Learn more at www.lehmanrealty.net. or call Jason at 620-724-8020.
McClellan Sanitation is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. McClellan Sanitation is also proud to have been serving Girard and the surrounding area for decades. McClellan Sanitation offers residential, commercial, and roll-off services. As a locally owned and operated company, owners Dave and Candy McClellan and their employees are dedicated to providing the highest quality customer service. To learn more, call McClellan Sanitation at 620-724-8486. McClellan Sanitation wishes the Girard Trojans the best of luck this season.
Back out here, Hutchinson Field in Pittsburgh. The Girard Trojans get a win here over the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers in the Kickoff Classic, or this first game of the year, 20-12. What a great night for the Trojans. What a nice comeback in this one, and good effort. Coach Philpott, this is one he can probably pencil in. Like, he's been here for 4 years. This kicks off his 4th season at the helm of the Trojans. There was a couple games last year. There's one in particular in the playoffs, probably or in the district, should have won, didn't. But this is certainly one that maybe – play this team 10 times, it's 5-5 perhaps. I mean, it's that evenly matched, but you get the win here tonight, and that's a big one for the confidence in these boys. Let's talk about it here as we kick off this Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance post-game show. BJ Harris with you alongside me, Justin Tucker, as well as Jess Murphy on camera. And let's get to where we got here. How do we get here? Trojans and Panthers. Trojans would win the toss, and they would defer to the second half. Colgan would punt on their first drive. Trojans would punt. Colgan would get the first score of the ball game on that ensuing punt, a 55-yard touchdown run by Gianni Pacini on the punt return with 6:41 to play in the first quarter. It was 6-0 as they missed the point after attempt. Trojans would get it at their own 20-yard line. They would punt it away. Panthers would get it. They would score again. Back-to-back times they score. They start at their own 50-yard lines. 4 plays, punching it on a 32-yard touchdown run by Blaze Dawson. Point after attempt was no good, so with 2:14 to play in the first quarter, Trojans trailed 12-0. Trojans would get it back. They would have to punt. Then an interception by Gabe Davenport. Get the ball back for the Trojans. 2 plays later, they give it right back on an interception. Trojans would force the Panthers to punt on that drive. Girard would get it at their own 39-yard line with 8:57 to play. First play from scrimmage fumble. So if you're keeping track at home, drive ended on an interception, drive ended on a fumble, back-to-back. That was the low point. Boy, it was high from that point on. I don't know what happened. They turned it on, and Murph, you might have to go get him up here for an interview to remind him first game of the year. Tell those newspaper guys to leave him alone. So the Trojans at that point, after fumbling it away on their first play, it was recovered by Gianni Pacini with 8:48 to play. Panthers, though, they punt. That Trojan defense, we'll talk about that in a minute, really stepped up big at times, including down the stretch when they had to. Trojans would start at their own 23-yard line with 7:09 to play, and that's where they would hit the first big one, a 65-yard touchdown to Connor Oliveira from Caden Lolleman. The point after attempt was good with 5:34 to play in the first half. The Trojans would trail only 12-7. Force the Panthers to punt. Trojans get it back. One of their few real drives of the ball game happened they started at their own 8-yard line. It started with a 51-yard run by Zach Davis, and then just grinded out with a little hurry-up offense down the stretch, punching in on a 1-yard touchdown run by Caden Lolleman when it made it 14-12. And the Trojans had the lead. They would never relinquish the lead. Panthers would run a few plays. It would end on a sack, and we go to halftime. Coming out in the second half, Girard would start at their own 20-yard line. Remember, they deferred to the second half. A nice drive. They would drive it down the field. They'd use up nearly half the third quarter, but eventually fumble it away on a 3rd and long, keeping the lead 14-12. Colgan would start with 6:21 at their own 24. They would have a long drive of their own, but eventually they would turn it over on downs. So just 2 drives, and we're only have a minute 33 to go in the third quarter. Trojans get the ball back late in the third quarter, their own 33, and they add to their lead. Another good drive, and it's a Caden Lolleman again to Connor Oliveira. A 22-yard catch. This time the PAT's no good with 9:31 to play in the ball game, and it made things a little bit interesting down the stretch. But ultimately, Colgan would get it at their own 39-yard line. They punt. Trojans would punt. It was a long one, and this might be one of the plays of the game. It was like a 70-yard punt by Nigaman and put it all the way down inside the 1. Panthers were still able to drive a little bit. If they don't have to start at the negative 1-yard line, they might have a chance to punch one in, but that punt certainly made the difference. And then the Panthers eventually turn it over on downs. Trojans 1 snap, and a victory celebration. Tucker, coach is making his way up here, but as you look at this ball game, we were talking, man, really good job by the D-line. Oh, really good job by the secondary. Great job by, passing in the passing game. Good job on it's just all around very good for a first game of the year.
Couldn't have been happier. There were so many kids stepped up that we'd never really see play a Thursday night at Colgan or any game close to that magnitude, and they stepped up and they just got after it. They competed and they did awesome. All of them did.
Player of the game going to be given to, I think, Connor Oliveira. What a nice coming out party for that young man. 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards receiving in this ball game, and he'll get it brought to you by Evans Motors. See their full selection of cars, trucks, vans, or SUVs at evansmotors.net. Stop by and see them just south of Pittsburgh at the intersection of Highway 69 and 400. Tell Eddie and Nate that you heard about them right here on Girard Sports Live. We'll take another quick break. We come back, we'll hear from the head football coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott, on the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance postgame show on Girard Sports Live. No, he has not.
For more than 20 years, Call Service has been serving Southeast Kansas. Call Service has a huge selection of tires from great brands, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Hankook, and Cooper. Farmers and ranchers trust Call Service with fast, reliable, on-the-farm service daily. Plus, Calls is the first stop for lube and oil changes in Girard. Get back in the game with a stop at Call Service. Check them out online at callservicellc.com or call 620-724-4121.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans. For years, our customers have worked with the Farmers Bank staff located in Walnut, St. Paul, and Hepler. Now, with our new location in Girard, the community can experience the same service that has kept families coming back to Farmers Bank for generations. Stop by and visit our friendly staff at Farmers Bank at any of our locations in Walnut, St. Paul, Hepler, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The Producers Co-op Farm Store is committed to making your life easier by supplying you with the things you need for your farm and home. As always, the Producers Co-op Farm Store has a great selection of farm and ranch supplies, including pet supplies, ranch and corral building supplies and equipment, automatic waterers and feed bunks, tack, dog food, pet and animal health supplies, workwear, boots, and much, much more. Come in and check out the great deals on lots of new merchandise as well. Proudly serving Girard and the surrounding area, and proud to support the Girard Trojans.
Roto-Rooter is proud to serve Girard and the surrounding area, offering sewer and drain cleaning, as well as septic and grease trap pumping 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From toilet clogs to video inspections, sewer line repairs to complete replacements. To make an appointment, call 620-231-5630. Roto-Rooter is now owned by GHS alum Braden Peak and GMS teacher Heather Peak, and they are proud to support the Trojans. Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630. See their ad in names and numbers.
Back out here at Hutchinson Field in Pittsburgh, BJ Harris along with you as the Girard Trojans get the victory tonight, 20-12 over the St. Mary's Colgan Panthers. Joining us now here is the head coach of the Girard Trojans, Neil Philpott. Coach, congratulations. What a good win. And really just, it starts with some of the grit, tenacity of this team. Down by 12. Oh, here we go again. Going to lose to the Panthers because we got down early. You can look at this game a lot of times. I mean, go back over the years. Girard looked down by 2 touchdowns of Colgan. They don't win a ball game. They don't win this game. You guys did tonight. That shows a lot of tenacity from your team.
Yeah, it was we kind of had maybe I don't know, ace up our sleeve, and the whole maybe we don't play next week, so leave it all on the line, and this is the only shot you got. Let's go out and play. And guys, one quarter's not enough. We haven't been doing what we've been doing for the last 3 months to give it up after a quarter. So, it's kind of funny, but we spoke about that before the game. But this morning it was crazy, just kind of hoping to get here the last couple of days, just get here as soon as you can to play it. And it was fun. It was almost unbelievable that we were here and getting ready to play, and then in a game like that where our kids showed some guts and grit that pushed through it. And we were telling them, hey, it's not one play at a time. Just you can't get it all back at once, and just keep leaning on them and doing what we're doing. And we made some mistakes. They made some mistakes, and I don't know if we made more or not, but we made some plays when we needed to, and we had some guys step up that I don't know if we were sure what we had with them, and I think in a good way. So I'm impressed with them. I told them that, and hopefully we get to play next week.
Yeah, we talked about that on our pregame show about the fact that there has to be, and I didn't feel it necessarily because I'm up here in the box, but down on the field, there has to be a little bit of a static, a little bit of a, I don't know how to describe it perhaps, but like that uncertainty, that idea that we talk about. The cliche is you play every game like it's your last. You play every down like.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it's not. It's usually not.
Yeah.
You know. And so, but this really could be. And so, what's that feel like down there as a coach? What's it feel like? Can you feel it from your players? Like, let's do this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's you got out in it, and it felt like a Friday night or a normal football game. It didn't really notice that there may not be as many in the stands, but it felt like we had a lot of guys on the sideline rooting for each other, and it was. I think our guys played extremely hard, and I think they want to play, and they deserve to play from what they've done this summer and worked at it. And it was a hot, muggy night. We had a lot of kids coming down with cramps and both sides, and it's just kids wanted at the end wanting to get back in. Had kids stepping up, filling in places where they normally wouldn't. But we got to get some special team stuff cleaned up for us, particularly. But
7-yard punt.
We had a good we had.
That might be the play of the game,
We'll
Coach.
take the win. It might be.
That might be the play of the game. I mean, I know you had a 65-yard touchdown pitch and catch, but that kick, I mean, talk about that situation. You missed the PAT, so, it makes it just still that one-score game, which changes everything because in that situation, they might go for it more times.
Yeah.
So then you have that long punt, and they got to go 99 yards instead of 65 yards. That just changes the whole trajectory of the game.
Oh, yeah. It's you never know which plays are going to be the ones that matter, and you just gotta make more plays than they do, and I felt like our kids, I felt like they bought into what we were doing. We ran a couple plays a lot, and we were getting good yards out of them. We stuck with them, and that's kind of what we've been doing. So,
do you want to talk about a couple individuals in this one? First, your quarterback, Caden Longman, he put some balls where they needed to be. How beneficial is it to you? He's 5'11",